Well, that needs to be said, doesn't it? That needs to be said a great deal. Hey guys, welcome. Manchester United 4, Newcastle United 1. Oh boy. Let's get into this, shall we? Let's bring in, for their debut on my channel, we have American Steve. We have David, and we have Chippaz. Hey guys.
Hello.
What's going on?
I was going to say Ari, but that's fucking a pointless question, isn't it?
No.
I've now
What
where
do
the
you
fuck to start. That was fucking embarrassing today. From minute one, that was absolutely fucking shit. And then, I mean, he must have woke up this morning thinking...
It's always going to be embarrassing.
He must have woke up this morning thinking he was Pep Guardiola, because he must have thought, I'll put a centre midfielder in centre back like what he was with Fernandinho. I'll put Isaac Keane at centre back, and then I'll play 90 minutes without a striker. And like,
four defenders on the bench.
Right, and then he's got a striker on the bench as well. It doesn't bring him on, and give him a new contract. Doesn't bring him on, and then when you need goals, he changes his wing backs and brings a centre midfielder on. Where's the fucking logic there? That's fucking ridiculous. You know, and it's like I did okay in patches, but that second goal again, we literally folded like a deck of cards again. But this isn't the first time it's happened under him. It's happened 4 times this season under him. As soon as we concede, we're fucked. We can't come back from it. I am literally so fed up with this shit now. He's got to be gone from after this. I'm sorry, like 12 goals in 4 games. Where's the positives? I mean, he comes out and says, "Well, we gave away a few goals there." What the fuck are you gonna do about it, Bruce? But yet you bugger off to fucking Portugal for 4 days, and he's done nothing about it. He said this for the last every 4 games we've played this season, we can defend better. So what's he going to do about it? Because he's going to say the exact same on Friday night when Leeds score the same amount of passes, we can defend better. He's going to say this all season. He said it for the last 2 years, whenever we've lost a game heavily, we can defend better. So why isn't he doing nothing about it? Why? Just tell us why. Yeah, he finds it okay to go to Portugal for 4 fucking days and sit on his arse and do jack shit. Exactly. He doesn't deserve it.
But you're not fighting well, right? You'll come back from Man United, from Manchester, and Mike Ashley will give him a fucking vote of fucking confidence. You know, if I'm well, that's gonna fucking happen.
He did the exact same thing towards the end of last season as well.
He did.
I think that statement that other week proved to me that Ashley and Bruce aren't on the same page anymore. It proves to me that they're both completely, their relationship's gone, that they are so hard. I think, to be honest, I think Ashley wants to sack Bruce, but I don't think, obviously he doesn't want to pay him the compensation. That's the only reason why Bruce is still here. And because Bruce wants these £4 million, that's the only reason why Bruce is here. Not because anybody wants him to be here, but because he's just been a fucking tosspot wants his money.
Hail to the King of Northumberland.
Hello, David. Sorry about that.
The King of Northumberland.
Sorry about my French.
Wait, try and get it right. Are we all in the same order? Mexican wave here. Ready?
All hail the King of Northumberland. All hail the King of Northumberland.
We are not worthy. We are not worthy.
Northumberland. We are not worthy.
Dave,
how's Itchy Cox isn't on the night?
How's your management skills? Do you fancy taking over as manager?
Do you know what it is, mate? I couldn't do all this job. I mean, I was a manager for 30 odd years, so I think I can do it. But you know what? Have you seen the interview with Lee Ryder?
Yes, I've got the entire interview ready to read out.
I mean, you know what? I'm determined not to swear, but I do.
Just go for it. Just go for it.
What, you know, I mean, I know Paul calls him a monumental bellend, but I mean, that's just disgraceful. I mean, twist his face every time he hears Lee Ryder's asking a question, and then to say, "Oh, you know, you and your paper, you know," are the fans saying, "No, it's not the fans. It's you're doing, you're doing." No, we're not. Every bloody person. You look at Twitter tonight in the last couple of days. Every bugger on Twitter is saying, "Why do you want to hold it? Why can't you just say, aye?" I was pissed off because I didn't get any backing from them bastards upstairs. I didn't get what I wanted. I didn't get what's his face, hairy monster. What you know what I mean? You know, couldn't get him on. We'll tell you that's him, cheers, David. Couldn't get anybody in. And I was hacked off. Yes, we got Wilson. But you know what? I pissed off for 3 days because I was bloody livid. You know what? The fans would say, aye, fair play to you, lad, because we're livid as well. And he hasn't got the bloody guts to say, do you know what, lads? I screwed up again today. We all knew we did. I mean, it's every bugger's fault by him, and I'm fed up with it. I really am. Absolutely bloody fed up with it.
I'll tell you one thing. I'll tell you one thing as well. I watched Football Focus this afternoon, and they were talking about Arteta, how they've obviously had a bad start. Arteta's come out and said it's his fault. It's his responsibility as a manager. That's what our manager should be saying. It's his fault for the poor start of the season. But again, it's our fault, the journalists' fault. It's the grass's fault. It's the weather's fault. It's
we're delusional apparently as well. I don't know what I do with them. I haven't seen Football Focus. I was out with Archie all day, trying to stay away from it all. But sadly, we finished about 3:10, so I came back and went out shopping with me and the good lady. And when I got back, it was 1-0. I thought, oh, there you go, 1-0. And then I ignored it, and we've been doing a bit of painting. We've had some work done. And I went back on. It was 1-0. She said, what the hell happened there? And then did anybody see that link? I don't know who it was. Somebody put a link up where you could watch the match live on Twitter. And I watched it.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah. I don't know. It got taken down, I think, but it was on for about, I don't know, a quarter of an hour. So I watched it, and that little bit there, do you know what? We weren't playing that bad. It didn't look as though, we're having a good go. We're playing it and looking like we knew what we're doing, but at least we're giving it a go. And then it just all went to bloody hell in a handcart. I mean, how many times have we said this when it's him? It just goes to bloody rack and ruin after a couple of minutes. They lose their heads. Hi, Billy. They lose their heads, and it just all falls apart. And do you know the bloke I really feel sorry for in all this? It's young Woodman. He's had a stack of goals put past him because the defence in front of him was just absolutely bloody atrocious. I'm going to flipping clue. You know, I mean, when Rafa was here, and I know we don't want to go on about him, but it's almost the same defence, and they were solid. And look at them now. I mean, they've shipped more bloody goals this season than we did in half the season under Rafa, and it's only 4 games into this season. It's pigging ridiculous. Sorry, I'm angry.
Can hardly tell.
It's just, isn't it? It's just 12 goals in 4 games. That's
4 games,
ridiculous.
At least one good. We didn't get a penalty today against, did we?
Makes a change, yeah.
Do you know what I'm annoyed about? What Chippaz come out and said on Twitter the other day? He's come out and said about how good Ronaldo is and all that. And I'm thinking, well, why don't you worry about us instead of Ronaldo? He's supposed to be a Newcastle fan like the rest of us, And he's saying, oh, well done, Ronaldo, and you've got to praise how good he is. And I'm thinking we've gifted him 2 goals today. The first one, Woodman palmed straight out in front of him, which I think I could score with my eyes closed. And the second one, he got Ronaldo nutmeg Woodman. I mean, he did. Apart from them 2 goals, I thought he had a very quiet game for somebody who was having his first sort of game back. But
even Ronaldo had a little cheeky comment on that, saying, "Oh, well, I was expecting to get 1, but I wasn't expecting to get 2."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think in many respects, though, I totally agree with you. I mean, I haven't seen Shearer's tweets. I only went on Twitter last sort of half an hour because I'm saying to Jason when I text me off, calm down now. But I haven't seen that. But I mean, in fairness to Shearer, he's a BBC pundit and he has to be as even-handed as he can. But yeah, if he's praised Ronaldo, fair play. But what's he said about us lot? Has he criticised Bruce? I bet he won't.
No, he hasn't. 2 seconds, I'll put it up. I've just got on his page.
Because Bruce is his best mate, though, isn't it? He ain't going to slant. He's his best friend.
He said, you have to respect the greatness of Cristiano Ronaldo, is that and more. Plenty of positives for Newcastle to take from the performance. Man United, so many options going forward. I thought there's no positives for us. We've just conceded 4 goals. We might have did okay in patches, but we're still 19th in the league. conceded, I think, the most goals this season out of anybody.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, where's the
Oh,
positives? Because we don't look like we're going to win a game of football.
Alan
No.
Shearer's got to fucking realize that when he was playing with Newcastle, yeah, we could rely on our offense to outscore the opposition, 5-4, 3-4-3, whatever. This fucking Newcastle side now is shit. We're reliant on young players and injury-prone players. How the fuck is that going to get us how is that going to clinch us survival? It won't. We're getting fucking relegated. I don't see any fucking way about it. There's no way that there are 3 worse teams than us, in my opinion, and especially based off what we've seen so far. Because we let in way too many fucking goals, and we don't have the talent to outscore the opposition.
Yeah, I'm not laughing at you, mate. I'm laughing at Jodie's comment. Is anybody?
Yeah.
Yeah, Jodie, your answer is just below me, right there.
The king of Northumberland has keen eye. He could fucking put Bruce and he could have a few arrows in his body.
I wouldn't do that because I couldn't be asked to spend the rest of my life in jail. But you know what it is.
Yeah.
I thought I'd get away with
just
it.
Ask him just ask him to put an apple on his head and then pretend to sneeze so you miss.
Yeah, okay.
I'll tell you one thing. I hope there's no itchy cocks in this flipping night or Wilma Dick.
Wilma's in the house.
Wilma Dick. Just gotta stay always clear.
Oh,
right,
man.
they've all moved over here.
Where
You
the
know
hell
what it is? I was watching
this
John's
man.
show the other night, and I was trying to bounce with Team Barry's show as well. The 2 of them, and I couldn't leave John's show. I was absolutely ill laughing. It was brilliant. It really.
Last night,
God bless him.
Last night he was like, "All right, itchy cocks, my man," and I was like, "Oh God."
It was the way Annie kept saying, what was that last one there, John? And he was going to read it again. Like, oh, John, you've got to get it,
It's a semen. I was like,
yeah.
John, give over.
Well, I put on
last night he was like, Wilma, my man. He was like, Wilma Dick fit, my man. And I was like, oh God, where man, John? You surely know what he's being said now when someone said that.
I love John to bits. He's absolutely amazing.
Go. Shoot.
There's the other one.
Who are you watching?
What's up?
Who are you watching?
It's like,
I'm watching Marseille versus Monaco right now.
All right.
Good game.
Did you watch the Chelsea
Villa? Yeah.
Villa. God.
Mendy had some.
Boring.
Mendy had some
Bloody hell, that was an awful game.
3-0. 3-0.
Yeah,
It was 2-0. Yeah.
Was it not 3-0?
Yeah, it was 3.
Oh, sorry, yes, it was 3 because what's his name?
Lukaku brace.
He scored in the last minute of extra time, didn't he?
Steve Bruce couldn't organize a piss up in a brewery.
You're right there, Jody couldn't. But joking aside, lads, what's got me hacked off over the last hour and a half where I've been looking on Twitter, Lee Ryder had the bottle to say, "Why do you go on holiday?" He twisted his face. He had a go at him, and it's never his fault. And that's what's
never ever Bruce.
No,
never ever his fault.
That's what's got me so hacked off the night. Not the fact we lost, because everybody thought we were going to lose. We had some half decent spells. Man, I did listen to all about it.
After we scored the goal, we looked good, and I thought we might have gotten a second because for 5 or 10 minutes. But then
you're right. I think if Fraser had been or Wilson had been playing, I think we would have got that second goal. But
it definitely would have increased the probability of that happening. Yeah, we definitely, but we don't have that caliber.
This 5 at the back wing backs is just not working. It really isn't working. And the sooner that bloody cabbage head realises it's not working and swaps it around to 4 at the back, 4-3-2-1 as we said for, we've all said all season that's our best form. But he won't do it.
Yeah. I mean, Bruce will never, ever change his 5 at the back. As far as I'm concerned, we could lose 10-0, and if he's still in the dugout, it's 5 at the back.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter. He's an egomaniac because he just thinks that everything he does, he finds the most minuscule of positives like, oh, we didn't concede a penalty, so that means we did better on defending today because we were more disciplined.
Yeah, well, you're right.
That's why we should stick 5 at the back. And he just ignores all the negatives because he doesn't. Yeah.
And that's the thing.
I'm saying, Dave.
Sorry, go on, mate. Yeah.
We don't play to our strengths.
No.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's true.
Hey, you're right.
But I mean, there was some positives. We got a goal away. We, for about, I don't know, what, 15, 20 minutes, were doing canny. The quite a few of the commentators were saying we did well. He could have just focused on that, but no. Like I said before, all he had to do to Lee Ryder was, I did, because I was pissed off, and I had to get away for a couple of days just to clear my head. And everybody went, aye, fair play, mate. I would have done the same. I would have done if I'd been threatened, chucked under the bus for that stupid statement that what's his face brought out. I mean, my God, everybody was. I think the bus was thrown under the bus for that one. But terrible. Sorry, Jason. As ever, I'm blethering.
It's fine. That's what the whole show's about. Going back to that whole press conference, the whole statement was Lee Ryder asked fans. Fans are reported via social media to ask Bruce if he had been on holiday during the international break. When the question was brought up to Bruce by the Chronicle, he responded, "Wow, go on. Do you really think I have to answer that to you?" In a really sarcastic way. That's what the fans are asking, are they? We trained all week and we're in every single day. The preparation was meticulous.
Just fucking stay in Portugal at that point if you're coming out with that shit. Just stay there and don't ever fucking come back.
There was a lovely one on Radio Newcastle the other day when somebody had texted and said, I really wasn't bothered about them going to Portugal. It was the coming back bit that pissed me off.
Yeah.
He even had the cheek to then go on to say, let me tell you, there's nothing more in preparation. What was I supposed to do? We had 6 of our players away on international duty.
Who?
Everyone does. Everyone does.
Did we have 6 people away?
Everyone has fucking players on
Fabian Shaw.
But Jason, if I can dive in, we may have well had 6 away, but the team that he put out at the start of the game, there was only one who was supposed to be away, and that was Miguel Almiron, who didn't go because of the COVID situation. So once again, he's talking bollocks.
Exactly. Loads more bullshit coming out of his mouth.
And even if it was true, it's not like every other fucking team in Europe and around the world has a similar scenario. Yeah. It's like we're not special because of we had players on the international break. It wasn't
Man United had maybe half of that team went.
They had a fucking starting 11 playing almost every game for their nations. Yeah, there's no excuse. There's no fucking excuse. I hate this fucking. I hate Bruce so fucking much. I just want him to fuck off. I hate Ashley too, and I hate Charlie. I hate every one of these fuckers at this club. I'm so fucking sick of getting up at these early ass hours in the morning in the U.S. and just watching a bunch of shit, watching stupid fucking press conferences and watching this fucking slow defensive football. It's fucking god awful.
I'm surprised he wasn't more happy at Bruce because his team won.
Well,
his team won the day, didn't they? I'm surprised he wasn't as happy at Bruce.
Yeah.
Well, it was apparently having a good old laugh again down the tunnel.
No, I'm not surprised.
Have you seen that tweet with a picture of him walking down the touchline with Jones?
And he said,
we were fucking shite. And aye, well, you are, and we were. So, fair enough.
Well, it's like what do you expect? It's you that's made us like this.
Yeah.
Just resign as manager if your team's shit, right? Wouldn't you do that if you're like, this job fucking sucks? I don't like who I'm working with. I don't like my boss, owner, whatever. Then you fuck off and you find a new job. But guess what? Steve Bruce doesn't have a new job in the Premier League. No one would fucking touch him.
I don't think if he loses, whether he's sacked or whether he walks, he'll never get a job in the Premier League again.
Never ever.
There's nobody going to have him. And I think that goes the same with the Championship. He might get a job in League One, trying to bring one of them up. I wouldn't recommend any team in the fucking world hire this guy. No, you're right.
I would be the first to go and find fans of whoever the club is and be like, look, I know you just appointed Bruce as your manager. I'm here to talk to you therapeutically as your season goes on to see how shit you are and to vent your frustrations because I feel bad for you that you have to deal with fucking Steve Bruce. I feel really, really fucking bad because he's only going to take your club downward. He's not a good fucking manager, never has proven to be one. I just there's no
badges, has he?
Huh?
He's got no badges, has he?
Yeah.
He had the audacity to say on the touchline going down to the tunnel that we were fucking shit. And in his press, he says the preparation was fine and we have been in all week. You could see our game plan, what we was working on.
No, I didn't. I didn't.
What game plan?
Fucking game plan.
He hasn't got one, Jason. That's the problem.
It's a really shitty game plan. I guess we can kind of give it there, but it's not a good game plan. His game plan is dropping points.
This is the one that really pissed me off so much. Bruce was also asked about the supporters who unfurled a banner asking the head coach to leave. Newcastle sunk into the relegation zone. He replied, "What can I say to that? I'm delighted. I can't comment on that story," and just completely blanked everyone.
Egomaniac. That's what a fucking diagnosed narcissist. That's what that response would come from. A fucking narcissist. That is that kind of response. Just completely it doesn't exist. I'll just shrug it off. It's not my fucking problem. I'm not going to acknowledge anyone else's opinion. I can't do anything wrong. So it just didn't, I'm just not going to acknowledge it. It's just narcissism. That's all. His ego is outstandingly large for someone who has little to no ability as a manager. It's fucking incredible. Someone must have brainwashed the poor fucking dude or gave him some fucking, I don't know.
It's even worse when you look at that interview and after it ends, you just see him get up and leave so fast.
Yeah,
he just did not want to be there. He was so disrespectful and just evil to all of us.
Jason, you're absolutely right, but he's done it loads and loads and loads of times. This is not the first time he's threatened the press. I mean, how many are banned from going to the, on these calls now? I think it's about 6 or 7, or maybe it's more.
Lee Ryder will probably get the boot.
You're right, mate. He will. He'll be the next one to go. And there's really good journalists. I know a couple who, and I've said, why don't you go? So I'm not going to do it because it's just a shit show, and they're not going to go. Because the lad I know who, through me links with Archery, he said, I go on, I ask one question just so I can stay in the sort of forum, if you like. He says, I listen to it and I get my piece from listening to how he responds to other people. He says, but I won't ask more than one question because it's simply just not worth it. Because if he doesn't like a question, he twists his face, gives you shit, and then just moves on to the next person. And it's for a man who was the head of, the head coach of a Premier League ground, it's absolutely bloody diabolical. It really is. Yep. I mean, can you imagine what's going to happen on Friday if we get beat off Leeds on Friday?
Well, I'm trying to look for a post that I saw not long ago that the club's trying to allocate something about and not allowing the journalists to ask questions for Friday at the stadium. So how true that is, I don't know, but I remember seeing that a little while ago. And Chippaz, your friend is here.
Who?
And your other friend, of course. There's Annie.
Annie.
Yo, Annie.
Yo, everyone.
I'm saying, Dave. There's 9 of them banned from St James's Park with Alistair McGowan.
9, is it?
And you know what the shitty thing is too is that people tend to forget that. Well, it's kind of obvious, but hear me out. It's like journalists have a job. Like it's their job. it's their job to ask questions and to go to these press conferences. They make a living off of it. They feed their families and they provide food and clothing and shelter for themselves and their family if they have one. This is their fucking job. This is their livelihood. And now you're just like, oh, well, just because you ask hard questions and you're doing your job to make a living, we don't want to deal with that. Again, more fucking narcissism and more fucking egomaniac type shit. It's fucking ridiculous.
I mean, did you watch his pre-match? I mean, I never watched them, but I was persuaded much against my better nature, and I watched it on the Newcastle thing. Do you know what it is? The bloody softball, easy questions. You know, how you doing, Steve? And what, you know, who's in what, you know, nice, easy questions that anybody would go, oh, yeah, just answer it. And it was the same BS. And then every time when there's a couple of lead raiders, there's another one, I can't remember what it was now. Mm-hmm. You can see him go, oh, God, yeah, we'll go. And it's just so disrespectful. And you're absolutely right. You know, these guys are doing their job because they're reporting to the fans. Mm-hmm. The club doesn't talk to the fans, so it's up to the press because that.
The thing that annoys me as well is he doesn't like questions like that, but yet he expects us to find it respectful that he talks up opposition so much, but now he talks his own team up. It's like, yes, there was, Ronaldo's this, Ronaldo's that. The fans are going to be packing Old Trafford out.
We're going to try to spoil their party.
Yes. I was like, I never heard him once say, we're going to go there to win. We're going to go there and give them a game. We're going to go there and bloody their nose. We're going to go there and give them something to think about. There was none of that.
No, he never does. I mean, again, in the close season when he was on Radio Newcastle, I listened to it, gritting my teeth and, you know, kicking the cat as I've got a cat, but you know what I mean. And somebody said, "Why is it you do that?" Exactly what you've just said. Why always big the opposition, and why do you diss the fans? I don't do that. I went, no, you do. And he rattled off 2 or 3 times. He knew, right. I'll do my best not to do that anymore. And you know, 4 games of the season, he's still doing the same fucking thing. I mean, how? Sorry.
Was that on? I'm saying, Dave, was that on Total Sport?
No, it was on Radio Newcastle. David, he did him and the new lad. That's him. Thank you. I'm terrible on names. Yes, he was on one night and Bruce was on the next night, and. You know,
because I asked him why you played 5 at the back for, and all that one is it's Rafa's team, and that's the way Rafa played, so that's the way I'm going to play it.
Steve Bruce couldn't fucking tie fucking Rafa Benitez's shoes, man. That guy does not deserve to even be. That guy does not even deserve to be in the same fucking conversation. Bruce. I mean, Bruce, and there's the thing, and it's just so fucking frustrating because until Ashley and Bruce are out this fucking club, we're just gonna be on the same live stream week after week after week after week until the end of the season, and then we'll find out if we're in a new league and be the same shit. This is just the reality we live in, and it's ridiculous. Every other fucking
team on Tuesday night.
Yeah. Wow.
Hey, we'll be on. Hey, if we get relegated, we'll be on 9 o'clock every weekend, so we'll be on and off the telly by 9:05. So.
No. We'll be on Quest as well. The highlights of
there was a comment, Jason, before on the chat there saying that there's 3 worse teams than us in the league, but there's no worse manager. I can't remember who said that now, but that's right. And you know, that is that nice Mr. Hunt. And she, whoever it is right. I think there are 3 of them, maybe 4 teams worse than us. But with a numpty of a bloody manager, and I don't like calling people. You know, I find. I mean, I'm 70, and I find it difficult. I won't say I hate anybody, others do, and that's fine. But I find it hard to say that. But you know, like Steve, I'm getting absolutely pissed off with the same BS week in, week out. I really am. Sorry, Annie, you were about to say something. I jumped in.
He was going to say Warwick's his guy, wasn't he? My guy, Warwick.
No, wait, no. This is Annie's guy.
Hey, Itchy's his guy.
Mr. C.
Yes. Gotta be
I'm not
so
saying
careful.
that. I'm not saying not saying the surname.
No.
And you get
At least
Itchy
Annie,
Cox, as John would say.
He also loves Chippaz as well, so.
At least we're getting them tonight, unlike John God love them last night.
I would.
Bless him.
Well, actually,
You've got Dave's a fan as well.
Oh, God.
I want to find out who that is.
Who this person on screen now?
Yeah, who is that?
Look, we might never know.
Would fans still go? Would fans still go if there's relic? Yeah, they still. Well, what were your guys' attendance figures like in the championship? Still 50,000.
Massive.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
Massive.
Yeah. So
Got behind
that's the thing
attendance.
about.
The daft thing, Steve, in the championships, we're not getting goals for fun. I mean, it was, I think we were winning 5 or 6 off the trot, maybe it's a draw, and another 5 or 6 off the trot. It was actually good to watch. And the lad I sit next to, and Dave, I've got Rob and Dave sitting next to me, they're great lads. And we're praying for a 7-0. That's what all we wanted was a 7-0, because remember when we got promoted the first time, was at Ipswich, we beat them 7-1, and we just we never got it, but all the way through we're hoping for it. So actually, if you go down, but the trouble is when we went down, we had Rafa, we kept most of the team, and we're head and shoulders above everybody else in that league. If we go down now, we're no longer head and shoulders above them. You're absolutely right. Steve. We are one of the also runs in the championships now. Championship, rather. Sorry.
Yep. Yeah.
I'd say you would definitely be the best team in the championship. And
No
that
fucking
is,
way. Not under Bruce.
No, maybe a different manager, but
Look, Annie, I respect that you know a lot more about the championship than I, but I'm gonna tell you right now, like, okay, Dwight Gale and Lascelles and Isaac Hayden, all these guys. There are some good good championship players, but our fucking squad is terrible and our manager is too. So make the case. Sorry to cut you off.
Okay, fair enough. But let's say you get a new manager, who what's the word I'm looking for? Competent with the squad he can work with.
Yep.
And I'd say unless you would definitely lose Wilson and ASM, maybe even Dubravka, but that's about it.
You think we'd lose Miggy, Annie?
Miggy may be back to a foreign league, but apart from that, I think you'd keep most of your half decent-ish championship players. If you bring in a decent manager, maybe even Chris Hughton, because he might be available. Forrester stinking out. Anyways, you'd definitely be the best team in the league, and that is absolutely, in my opinion, true, because you've bossed this league before. You've if you go down, you probably do it again, and that is that is true.
In all fairness, we absolutely destroyed the championship when we had Houghton in charge.
Yeah,
stayed undefeated for the entire season at home.
100 points, wasn't it?
Roughly, I think roughly over that amount.
Yeah, and was it 100 goals? I don't know what it was, but it was one of the highest.
100 points, no.
100 points.
Yeah. But I would agree with you on most of that. I would slightly take you to task on if you had a good manager, and I don't think that Mr. Ashley would pay to get rid of Bruce. I think he's hoping Bruce will walk. But if he stayed, I can't see it improving. You're absolutely right. If we had a manager, Houghton, whatever, there's a few out there. And I agree 100% that if that was the case, we would boss the league again. But I mean, it's how many players will lose. That's what worries me. And as Ryan said before, the squad is paper thin now. I mean, it's you look at the look at the cup game, and he made changes, and there was 2 or 3 who shone. There's no doubt about it, but the rest of them were absolutely diabolical. And that's what worries me. If we had a half decent squad, when we went down the last time with a Rafa, I had quite a decent squad. We just, we lost it. Rafa came in too late. Bless him. What was it, 10 games he had? It was never going to work.
Yeah,
but he brought it back, and it was brilliant to watch, and it really was. But this time, I'd worry how many players lose. But and you're absolutely right. If we kept 2/3, maybe more of the team we've got now with the new manager, I agree.
Because you also, with the modern day, how teams work with coming down from the Premier League into the Championship and the parachute payments, and obviously the fact that you have a massive fan base with a massive ground, who is, if there's a new manager, will probably fill out about 2/3-ish, maybe even a little bit more. If you bring in that sort of revenue, my word, you will absolutely boss this league. You will probably touch 100 points. If you can bring in half decent players, you will probably do a Wolves as well, where they just completely they go 1-0 up and then they just sit back, and then you just defend, because you do have decent defenders for the Championship. But one thing that worries me is if there's chaos, and there's always one team, normally there's a bit of feedback. Where's the feedback? Who's the feedback?
Would lose Fernandez.
Who's the imposter?
Might be me. I'm not very good at tech.
Wait. Let's try that.
Dang.
So still feedback?
No, not anymore. But yeah, David. As I was saying.
Oh,
David, it's you.
Hang on a minute. Give me 2 secs. I will sort this out. I will just move my laptop. Hang on. Because it runs hot. So give me a second. Sorry. That better?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bit. But yeah, as I was saying, if there's chaos off the pitch and Ashley decides to become, I think you would struggle. There's always one team in the Championship when they do come down who normally struggle. We've seen the likes of Huddersfield, Sunderland, Bournemouth didn't go up last season, but that was different. Who came down the year before? Cardiff didn't go up. But yeah, if you are in the Championship and you get parachute payments and you don't go up, then you don't deserve to go up, because you clearly don't. But yeah, I think you will definitely go up if you.
When do the parachute payments stop after next year?
How many years have Newcastle been in the Premier League since they've gone back up? 4 years.
Five, isn't it?
Has it been more than 3? Yeah.
It's the 5th year this year.
Then you'd have 3 years of parachute payments, which would include fifth.
We had 2 years with Rafa, and then this is Steve Bruce's 3rd year, so it's our 5th year.
So it would include 50 million in the first year, 35 million in the second year, and 25 million in the 3rd year. That is a lot of money in the Championship. And
but Ashley's just going to pocket that parachute payment money. That's the thing also.
You could do that. Yeah, of course
he will do that. He will do that. There's no doubt in my mind. When has he ever shown to give a fuck about this?
We would lose half of our squad.
Yeah.
If you do lose half your squad, he'd have to put some money in with the parachute payments.
I've got to say to you, I don't think we would lose half the squad. I think Annie's right. We'd lose the likes of Wilson and ASM and
Dubravka.
Yeah.
Wilson,
but I think some of them would just sit there because they're all on decent contracts.
Players like Shelby would just stay here because he's on a fat wage. Joe Litton would as well.
Yep.
What
Because
do
no one
you
wants him
know?
because he's crap.
Do you know what? Do you know the thing with parachute payments? You can have massive wages, and you could have like with Norwich, what they did last season with Emery Buendia. He was on a massive wage. They kept him, got promoted, sold him. Do you know why they kept him? Because they had parachute payments. So let's say Callum Wilson could potentially stay because if you use those parachute payments just to pay his wages for the whole season, he'll get you 20, 25 goals easily. 30 pushing it. I'd definitely say so. So yeah, those are also the other benefits of parachute payments, which I don't enjoy because I'm a Bristol City fan. But yeah, you'd be in a great position, to be honest.
I mean, I don't even. I just don't want to be. I don't want to be in the championship because it's one of the toughest leagues in the world to actually get promoted out of. You got to be. It's so tight and it's just. And if we get into the playoffs, man, I
think we'll do a Sunderland.
See Bedford. Yeah.
Let's calm down.
I tend to agree. I think we'd do a Sunderland. That is entirely possible.
Sunderland were a very unique case.
Yeah, well, we're a really unique case too. I think.
They lost their manager. They brought in Simon Grayson.
We gained their manager.
Huh?
We gained their manager.
Yeah.
Yes,
Get over it, Jason. He's been here 3 years, man.
Mr. Pragmatic, as you call him.
Pragmatic as always, Bruce.
Yeah. Pragmatic at being a fucking loser. That's about it.
But yeah, with Sunderland was that owner was just utterly not interested at all. Like,
so our owner is?
No.
I didn't know.
I would say no. I would say I would say he was a worse owner than Mike Ashley because he took money out the club. He took the parachute payments. He took the parachute payments. He didn't give the manager any money. He got rid of about half the squad. Had players who were completely useless. Finished bottom of the league in double relegation, and yeah, it was not pretty, but I'd say I don't think you'd do a Sunderland. No.
Okay, well, of all the things that you've said, if Mike Ashley did that with Newcastle, would I be surprised? No. If we got rid of half of our squad and then gave Bruce, he would probably still keep Bruce around. Yeah, that's what he would do because the championship that was 5 years ago. It's a new era. We don't have a world-class manager like Rafa Benitez to get us those 100-point seasons and whatnot. They're Sunderland had terrible owners, and we have fucking terrible owners. We have a terrible owner too. There's no convincing me that if we went down to the championship that we'd go straight back up. I would have to see it. Because, like I said, if Sunderland owners pocketed the parachute payment money, that's not beyond Mike Ashley's. That's not beyond his realm. Of course, he would be more inclined to do that than not.
Steve.
Yeah.
They pocketed £50 million. £50 million.
And you'd be surprised if Mike Ashley did that? Would you be surprised?
Annie, how much do you think? Over the 14 years, I think Mike Ashley's pocketed a hell of a lot more than 50 million quid off us.
Yeah.
No, Chippaz, 50 million in about 2 months. And how much where do you think all our money's gone that we've gained off everything? Because it certainly hasn't gone towards signing players or gone into the club.
Or the club infrastructure, our training ground is fucking terrible.
If Mike Ashley
where's all the money?
If Mike Ashley pocketed
off the sponsor deals, the TV deals, and
yeah, great point.
We haven't seen it.
If Mike Ashley pocketed all of the £50 million you receive in parachute payments, I will personally wear a Bristol City. I will personally
wear a Bristol City shirt, even though I support Bristol City.
That's what I said.
That sounds like you.
Restart.
Yeah.
Rewind, restart. There we go.
You'll wear
If Mike Ashley pocketed all of the £50 million he'd receive in parachute payments from the Premier League, I would personally record a video to the Bristol Rovers shop, buy a Bristol Rovers top, and I'd put my name on the back. I'd wear it, and then I would go around the stadium, because that is utterly ludicrous.
You best get it printed up on your mind.
You would do it.
You best get it printed, because it's going to happen if it goes down.
How is it ludicrous? Wow, a greedy owner pockets $50 million of parachute payments because he doesn't give a shit about the club? How is that ludicrous? It's not like we're talking about Leicester's owners.
Do you know how many owners have not given a S about the club, have not actually pocketed £50 million of the parachute payments?
Well, Sunderland did.
Yeah, Sunderland got relegated.
If I can
go
on. Sorry to interrupt, but did you see the thing that did us a couple of weeks ago, how much money various owners had put into their clubs over the last 10 years? Ashley was rock bottom last with zero, absolutely
rank zero,
nothing.
So where's it all gone?
That I remember him saying to, I don't know if it was Rafa or whoever it was, I will give you every penny that is made. And you look at the number of players that have gone since he made that statement, and I think it's about 90 or 100 million quid. And where's it going? I mean, all right, you bought Joe Linton and whatever, but Bruce has been the biggest backed manager of Ashley's era, and he's put money in, nowhere near as much as other clubs have, but he has put money in. He takes an awful lot, because if you look at how much he gets out of the Sky payment, and yes, I know that he's got to run the stadium and he's got to pay wages and just seeing how much a player cost is not the true story. There's an awful lot behind that. But he's still making a hell of a lot of money out of it. I don't have a massive problem with that. He's a businessman. He wants to make money.
Yep.
But what pisses me off is the fact that he just walks away. We've said a few times, and other shows have said the same thing. He's chucked the keys on the table and said, right, lads, I'm off. Best of luck. And he's away. Doesn't give a monkeys. Now, I'm sorry, but a businessman who's got £3.78 billion of money and assets to his name, that's appalling. It really is appalling.
He's just greedy. The only thing that matters to Mike Ashley in this world is dollar bills. That's all that fucking matters. To him, if he could get 50 million. And the other thing is, too, the other reason why I'm inclined to say if when we get relegated, why he would pocket that 50 million parachute money is because he'll realize that if he wants to sell the club to the Saudis or whoever, that it's not going to be worth as much. So he's got to claw back money because he's going to lose money. If he had them in the Premier League, maybe he could sell them for 350 million. But guess what? If it's in the Championship, it's going to be 150 million. So that's half right away. And then if he could get And then if he could get 50 million to cut even more losses, of course he's going to do that. Of course.
To be fair to you, when Huddersfield went down, I don't think you remember this, when they went down in 18-19.
Yep.
Rock bottom, they had ownership change when they went down to the Championship,
and
all of the money that came in through the parachute payment, so I think it was around 35 million because they've only been up for 2 years. The owner took because he had to. It's some sort of deal agreed between the two parties, but I see your point. I see your point about what Ashley would do if he knew that the takeover was going through. 150 million for a Championship club, even with parachute payments. Yeah, it's an attractive obstacle. 150 million. Derby County are being sold for 50 million. 100 million at max.
I think that's not how we value Newcastle. It's how Mike Ashley apparently values the club. I personally don't think the club's value is £300 million.
No,
I personally think we are worth. How much did he buy us? 450, 100. I'll say we're exactly the same because we haven't gone forward as a club since he's bought us. So I can't see how it could be any more than that.
Yeah, you're right. He spent 100 whatever it was million buying the shares off Sir John Hall, and then we're in debt that Freddie Shepherd had accrued, and he paid all that off. So he holds that 150 million quid. So what he's working on is 150 million quid for buying it, 150 million quid debt he's paid off, and he wants to make 50 million quid profit. So that's where the 350 comes from. We're not worth that. But it's like, if I'm going to sell you my car, I'm going to say it's worth 10, 50. Well, if you want, no, I like your car, you're going to have it. But
as a seller, you start off with your highest price, and then
absolutely,
and then as a purchaser, you throw your lowest, but still a reasonable, and then you
meet somewhere in the middle. Yeah, that's what you do. Absolutely right, Steve.
Yeah,
but he's going to, as I say, I don't like the bloke, but that's what he's going to do. He's going to find the best money he can get, because he's a businessman, and like him or loathe him, that's what he's got to do. But it's
he'll take the most he can.
Well, no, you're right, David. He will. He'll take as much as he can get his hands on.
So yeah, to me, if when we get relegated, that 50 million is just going straight to Ashley, and then if we get relegated to League One, that's no surprise to me, because our owners
you still get 35 million in League One.
Oh, but what's that going to buy you? We've spent 30 of it on one player.
But you know what though? I was watching final score tonight. Sorry, mate, go on.
If someone come along tomorrow and offered Ashley 400 million, you would take it. Because more than what he valued it, did.
Probably would.
He's more than what he valued it.
Yeah, you're not wrong, David. I was watching, as I say, final score today, and it was going through all the leagues, all the league tables, and the ones good Premiership sides that are down the bottom of like League One and that, you're thinking, my God, there, but for the grace of God, goes. There's an awful lot of teams who are, Sunderland for one.
League One, yeah.
Don't laugh too loud. But there are lots of other teams. You just got, you look at Man City. How many years did they spend? They were in League One, or the old third division as it was. Yeah. They were away for what, 10 years? Leeds, 18 years. They were out the top flight. And you look at some of the teams, and I'm like for names, but
Forest.
I mean, yeah. Derby, but
Portsmouth.
Sorry, Steve?
Portsmouth are out of the league. They haven't been the
Sheffield Wednesday.
The list goes on, lads. It really does. It goes on, and it's scary as to what with a bad owner. And sorry, Andy, I keep butting you and going. Sorry, son.
I was just going to say the amount of teams in League One, as you touched on, which have fallen down because of bad owners.
Yeah,
it's just mind blowing. Ipswich, Pompey, Charlton, Wigan, Sunderland, Bolton, Sheffield Wednesday, definitely. Oldham, because they're now utterly hopeless. But yeah, I completely agree. If you have a bad owner and you get relegated to Championship and you don't take care of your finances well, and you don't care about the club, then you are gonna be in a relegation battle, I'd say.
Right. Yeah,
I remember going to Ashton Gate to watch MK Dons in the Championship.
Right, guys, I've got Joe Linton's favourite fan, John waiting in the wings. But as a tight ass that I am, like Ashley, I don't have the paid version. So sadly, I'm going to leave it to you to have the fight and decide who goes.
Chippaz, definitely Chippaz.
Why can't Annie go? He's a Bristol City fan. Doesn't support Newcastle.
I'm 14, so if you kick me out, I would cry to sleep.
I'm 17, nice. So I've got age on my side. So I don't mind dropping out, Jason, if you want to get John on. No problem.
No, I'll drop out. I'll drop out. It's all right.
You sure, dude? Yeah.
You sure?
Sure.
Yeah,
Sure, mate.
Yeah, I'll drop out.
No worries,
Okay,
mate. If send me a link to your channel and I'll put it down in the description after it's finished.
Right, no bother.
No.
See you
Yeah,
See you
David.
later.
All right, peace out, David.
buddy.
Nice having
What
you
you
on,
doing?
man.
See you,
Take care.
David.
And here he is.
Yes, my guy.
The soul master himself. There's
King of
John.
Bristol.
Hey, how you doing, buddy?
How you doing, lads?
Yes,
thanks
Will
so
Matt
much.
King
Dixby.
of Bristol.
Where's your green screen, lad? I don't know.
God.
John,
Oh,
just quickly,
Oh my God.
I'm having trouble with this name. Can you pronounce it for me?
Nice.
John, don't.
Do it.
go on, John.
Honestly, I'll give me brightness up a bit.
Terrible.
I just all it is, my screen's a bit dark.
Oh, yeah. Good answer, mate. Good answer.
Sorry about that. Oh, no, 2 seconds. There we go. That's much better. There you go.
Don't read it. Oh, go on.
You able
John,
to
read
pronounce that name? I'm in a bit of trouble with that name. Are you able to pronounce that?
I think he's linked with us. A new signing, Dirk Stiffboner. sounds like a good prospect. I'm sure Bruce will give him a chance.
What do you think of the game, John?
The thing is,
Well, don't know what you long lost, Before I give you the answer, I had 1,000 viewers view me live stream today, and it's
All
absolutely
right,
amazing.
rub it in. I've only got
Wow.
14.
Whether it's that whether you watch it live or not, but it's just a few on it, so I'm amazed at that, and it's just going stronger. And 171, 167 away from getting 1,000. So yeah, absolutely fantastic, blessed, and thank you
Move
very
along,
much
move along.
indeed for
Again, rub it in, why don't you? I've only got 75.
that. But
Not like I've got under
today's
70.
game, well, first half we played well in the first half. I think you did well, kept the ship good, and Joe Linton should have scored earlier on, and ASM's final ball's not very good. But the killer for us, like on the stroke at half time, when the defence just decided to stood there from a shot, Woodman fell to pick it up. Spilt it, when he should have caught it, and he didn't. And he kind of allowed Ronaldo to pick it away. But in the second half, I thought we had one shot on target, that's a goal. And then I didn't see the second goal, but apparently the ball went through Woodman's legs. And yeah, it was game over from that. And we just waved the white flag. And had people like Chippaz, Danielle, Billy, Hughes, Jason, and Deary came on the video call and
Video call.
I forgot about Andy as well, by the way, but you might be watching Bristol City. But listen, again, we deserve to get beat. And we got what we deserve. And that's the bottom line. We're just not good enough for this league. And also, guys, I'll say it again, that's the worst start in 87 years. My man's breaking records anyway.
Fucker.
For wrong reasons.
Oh, Bruce is your man.
Man,
Jesus.
Come on.
No.
Someone clip
I
that.
didn't know. No, I know.
You mad whore, John.
I meant to say.
Bruce is your man, is he?
Sorry.
that's a meme for the next week's show, mate.
Oh.
No. That's just he's a fraud, and I'm sorry, but that's all she
Don't cry
was.
your friend.
1 point.
I just see some backtracking in the distance.
It's just-
John, can I ask you a question?
Mainstream.
Were you feeling okay this morning, giving us all shout outs? Were you okay this
fainted.
morning?
I fainted.
I mean, to wake up and I saw a shout out off John Sinclair, I thought, I haven't had my sex change yet, so how am I getting it?
I didn't get one.
Oh,
get one?
oh
Oh,
no.
no. That's
That's it.
Off
Wow.
with his head.
Yeah.
No, I didn't.
But I've got it.
Crossbow.
I've got it, and it's really, really good. And no, listen, I felt fine. I felt good. Send out of shout outs. Match day. Happy days.
Yeah, not
But,
happy days. Was it?
Well,
Not
I
today.
was going to say, not exactly happy days because we got tanked, but you know, I mean, apart from that,
Apart from that, exactly.
It wasn't as bad as if you were expecting those, Sam.
well, I said 5-0, so I was 1 goal off.
Do you know,
I mean-
I said to the lads I sit with, you know, on our WhatsApp group, what do you reckon? I went 4-1, and that was more in hope and expectation, and I got it right. That's the first time for about a season and a half I got the score exactly right.
I'm going to say something really, really strange here, right? For an hour of that game, we were never out of the game, but we were never in the game, if you get what I mean.
It was
Yeah,
purgatory.
Right.
You know, it was only 1-1 and we were still in it, but I think Man United could have went up 5 or 6 more gears if they wanted to when they were just taking the piss with it.
I was literally, you must have read my fucking mind because I was just going to talk about that. I don't feel like Man United got out of first or second gear today. If they wanted to make it a 9-0, they could have, but they've got Champions League on Tuesday. So they probably were like, look, these guys are shit. May as well, you know, we don't have to go all out. But let's beat them comfortably. If they really wanted to make this 9-0, if this was Sir Alex Ferguson days of the ruthless in and out, destroyed, next up, destroy, next team we play, destroy them, fucking. If it was that, then yeah, it would have been a much worse scoreline. But Man United didn't take it out of first gear. If I were a Man United fan, I'd be kind of embarrassed that they didn't actually just destroy the game, just kill the game off within the first 20, because that in reality we're that kind of side. We're not a good side. It was flattering for a lot of that game. And then Bruce is gonna take that as a compliment that we would look flattering. No, it's no. Don't in this fucking Bruce guy. I'm so sick.
The thing is, though, as well.
Sorry, go on.
The goals that we conceded were all preventable. It wasn't like they played well to score the goals. They were all errors.
Yep.
Again.
Yeah, you're right. I think towards Man United, I think 4-1 flattered them, because I don't think we were 4 goals worse. But you're absolutely right, Steve. If they decided to go up a couple of gears, we would have been absolutely stuffed. But and I said in a tweet, right, the Ronaldo hype is over. Let's get back to basics. Steve Bruce has got to go, because he can't close a game out. Back in the day, and I'll say it again, and I'll get criticised, Rafa would have said, right, lads, he would have had a plan, and he would have said, let's mark out the game, and we need to mark out the game. And chances are, it would have stayed at 1-0. But not this numpty
2-1,
because he can't change. He's got it so fixed in his mind. This is what I do. I play 5 at the back. You go, fuck. See it, man. Get a grip.
We still haven't paid him any of the 100 mil loan he gave us in 2009, according to every set of accounts since. So where has the TV prize sponsorship money gone over 14 years, robbing us blind?
Yeah, well said, Billy.
100%. And I mean, we're such a shit team that they're literally almost every Premier League team can field a B team and not get out of first gear, but guess what? They'll win the game. That's the reality, and we're not fucking good enough to hang around in this league this year. There's no way, because you can literally field a B team against us and not go out of first gear in terms of your team's performance, and guess what? You'll still fucking win the game comfortably, because we don't put up a fucking we don't put up a fight in terms of goals and defending and all this stuff. There is nothing in this fucking team. There's nothing. Teams don't even have to try to beat us, and they don't have to put their strongest 11 out. We're gonna be the whipping boys, and teams are just gonna be praying. The teams in Europe are just gonna be praying that their schedule, like in midweek or on the weekend, they play us and then can go to a European game, because they can fill the fucking B team, and it doesn't matter where they're traveling to. It doesn't fucking matter. You're going to win that game, or you're just going to get points. You don't have to worry about a loss. Everyone fucking knows that in the Premier League. Everyone's smelling blood.
You've got me crying.
The thing what I'm worried about is how long is Wilson going to be out for? Because he doesn't know, does he? He said indefinite. I mean,
apparently there's rumours that he could be back for Leeds.
Oh, if he's back for Leeds, then he's being rushed back, I think, personally.
I heard today from a lad who I know through Archery. He was saying 6 weeks Now, is that true? Nobody knows.
The thing is, though, guys, about Wilson's injury, Bruce has come out yesterday in his press conference. He said that he will not put a timescale on it, but they must know how long the injury is going to be. Other clubs,
I think he knows he's just not telling me because he knows we're going to be on him. I think, why didn't you sign a striker in January? I mean, summer.
I still for the fans need to know about it, Chippaz, you know what I mean? Because again, we as fans, it's been kept in the dark yet again. And we deserve better. We buy season tickets, we go to matches, we buy the merchandise sort of thing. But unfortunately, these people just don't tell you out. They do not want to speak to the fans. They don't treat us as fans, they treat us as customers. And it shouldn't be like that. We are fans.
I'll be back in 2 minutes, Chops. I see you go to the toilet. Don't worry, you won't say anything.
Oh, no.
Oh, God, no.
Don't worry, I'll be 2 seconds.
Mute the mic. Mute
be back.
the mic.
Yes.
Where's
upstairs and I'm sitting down. I'm sitting downstairs. My toilet's upstairs, so you won't hear anything.
I don't think we need to know that, Bonnie lad.
Mute.
Yes.
Just mute.
That's the other and the other thing about Bruce, which I really fucking hate, is that he rushes players back from injury so much that it actually hurts their career, and it hurts them while they're at the time, while they're at Newcastle. Because again, like I said, he brings them back way too early, and then the reason why he says, "Oh, I don't have a timetable," is because maybe he has a bad habit. And the thing about bad habits is that you tend to you don't tell people, you don't give any clear idea, like, "Oh, I'm going to stop smoking." "Oh, when do you plan to stop smoking?" I don't really know, but I'll try, So you don't give anyone answers like, "Oh, 4 to 6 weeks," because you can just continue your bad habit and then no one can call you a liar because you didn't know when you were going to quit smoking. You didn't know when Wilson would get injured. So you brought him back whenever. It's a bad fucking habit. It's a really bad habit. That's going to cost us.
Yeah, I think
that's the reality.
The squad need to start doing some yoga to get those soft tissue injuries away, because how many soft tissue, muscle injuries have we had as a crew over the last 3 years? Really monumental. We've had loads of them. And that's just poor training.
Yep.
It really is. Other teams have them, but nowhere near. And if you look at Steve Bruce's record as a manager, he's probably got one of the worst number of soft tissue injuries as any other manager. So, once again, he's at the top or bottom, whichever you really look at it, of the list of just, bad, not enough wins, too many defeats, injuries.
And the thing is that Steve Bruce knows that in his head. He knows his errors and all this stuff. But if anyone asked him in the press or whatever, he'd just go, "Oh, here we go again."
Yeah, no, he does.
It'd be anything. If you ask him a question criticizing him, he'll just fucking brush it off.
Those soft tissue injuries are.
It's always somebody else's fault. Sorry, Annie, what was that?
Annie, is there anything you want to say to Wilma?
Mr. or Miss Mrs. Wilma. You don't know what you're talking about. Clearly.
I mean, is Wilma Dickfit really wrong? Are you not a Bristol City fan?
Did you have to say
that? Clearly, Mr. Dickfit knows that you're a Bristol City fan. What do you mean what do you mean that Wilma doesn't know what they're talking about?
He's got a Newcastle top, though. He's a secret Newcastle fan, don't want you, mate.
Closet.
John,
get it out right now.
You got another fan, John?
You need to put it on. Here's another one.
John, your fans, what's another side photo?
Hey.
Chuck it in the bin.
Yeah. Look, Sandy.
Penalty box.
That's a 5-minute major right there.
I don't like him getting shut at the penalty box, but in this instance, fair play.
How dare you throw the two shirt away?
Oh, dear me. But one of the things that I've said a few times, I don't know if I've said any the last time, for me, it's a bit like Yoda. Yoda said, "There's do or do not. There is no try." And the number of times in his press conference yesterday, we're going to try and do this, we're going to try and do that, we're going to try and spoil what. I'm sick to death of him saying all his BS. Don't try, do it. Go. What he should have said was, we're going to go there and we're going to spoil Ronaldo's party. We're going to go there and we're going to play really well. We've got everybody's in place. We've trained hard all week and we're going to do this. Not try, made, could, possible. No.
We're going to get fucking.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. We're going to do this, going to do that.
Sinclair, the OG. John's bringing all of his fans over.
Oh yes.
That's the other thing too. Like you look at other managers wherever in Europe or in England, and a lot they don't fucking talk like that.
No.
They don't talk like, "Oh, I'm gonna try. You know what? The only fucking time the trying counts for anything is when you're a fucking baby and you're learning to walk. Because that's all you can do. That's all you can do. You can only try until you actually develop the skills to start walking and shit like that. You're not a fucking baby, dude. You're allegedly a Premier League manager. I don't know whose fucking wife you fucked, and then you've got some blackmail, and that's how you got there. I don't know. But whatever. You're in this position, so you may as well fucking do an all right job.
Oh, God.
But he's not.
What number was he on the list when we're looking for a new manager? 12th, was it, apparently?
11th, 12th, yeah.
Yeah. And it just goes to show that, you know, there was 11 other people who we thought about before we got in. I mean, geez, that went.
Another one of John's fans in the house.
John, your fans on.
Hey.
Who's that again, John? I don't know him. I don't know this person. Do you?
I wonder if we'll have a surprise comment from this other guy I know. His name's Ben Dover. I think Ben Dover. I think maybe he'll make a comment. You know, fucking bullshit. Someone dig.
You know what I want to know is as well why Ashley has this such bad thing towards cup competitions, because as an astute, supposedly good businessman, why does he not want cup runs? Because they generate so much money.
Yep.
You think money, and then if you get into Europe because you get to a final or whatever, more money. Your company gets advertised worldwide. More money.
Right.
That's what I've been saying for ages.
The further up the
Why does
league
he keep
will
doing
go,
shit?
the more money he would make. You're absolutely right, mate.
The last time that Newcastle were in the Europa League, Ashley literally was like, he sent a request to UEFA, was like, do we have to play these games? He's here. It's fucking remarkable how stupid
Do you know
this
how
guy
much
is.
it's going to cost me to get my team across to Bruges? I mean, my word.
Basically he runs for profit, but nothing above. That's how he runs it. He wants to do the minimal amount to make a profit, and anything else that involves putting more money into it, that just means it's too big of a risk for him. So he doesn't want to partake in that. The more we go into the cup runs, the more, all this other stuff, it's extra to him.
He didn't want to participate in the European games because he wasn't allowed to show off the Sports Direct brand.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But you won't have seen it, Steve, but across here we'll have the National Television Awards, and they're on when it was Thursday night. Ant and Dec, who are two of the big TV stars on this side of the pond, won for the 20th year in a row. And I mean, they're Newcastle fans, they're Geordie lads, they're good kids. And they were saying, when we were first won 20 years ago, and I think they said Tony Blair was still PM.
Prime Minister, yeah.
And they said, and Newcastle just qualified for the Champions League. And you go, oh, bloody hell. And you think, 20 years ago, we qualified for the Champions League. And have we been anywhere since? No. Well, not, a couple of times, but no. It's bloody soul destroying, Yeah. But have you seen this Twitter account with the dead pigeon and the Gallagher?
On the roof.
So funny, that.
I heard of it, but I didn't see it.
So funny. It's apparently there's the Lee's end, but there's supposed to be another one somewhere, and we're expecting another Twitter account. The Gallagher's going to pop up with another bloody dead pigeon. been there for what, 6 years or something? Is it? I mean,
I think we've got a fucking dead pigeon as the manager, man.
well,
I think that's
Jesus.
a compliment. That's a compliment.
I think Bruce was that pigeon lady off flipping Home Alone, wasn't he? You know, I'm not stood there with all the pigeons. That's Steve Bruce,
yeah.
wasn't it?
Fucked up.
So what do you make of the rumor that Steve Bruce only got 3 games left?
Nope. No. He's here the
I
whole
don't know.
season. He's here. He is going to be here the whole season. That's how I see it. I'll just set the bar low, and if he gets fired, then yay, nice surprise. I wasn't expecting it. I'm not gonna.
I would be and wouldn't be surprised because you don't know like what this owner's going to do. He's like so unpredictable. He says one thing and does the other. I mean, he could come out tomorrow and say, "Oh, I love Steve Bruce. Me, I think he's the best thing since sliced bread," and he could sack him on Tuesday. I mean, he backed McLaren, didn't he? And then the next day he was gone.
yeah.
I mean, so you don't know what he's going to do. But if apparently everything's been agreed for, if he was to get sacked, then why is he still here? Surely he could have got rid of him by now.
It's
Well,
the
I
worst
think
start to our season in 80+ years. So
Yeah.
Breaking
I think the
records.
other question is that if we change the manager tomorrow who brings in, will the team we've got play that much better to start climbing up the league?
I think they would. I think anybody.
Anyhow,
I even think if you say to Jones, there you go, till we'll find somebody a bit more permanent, I think they would because he's a Geordie and I think he cares a bit more than what Steve Bruce does, if I'm being honest.
But where was he as a manager? I can't remember now.
He did fuck all at Luton, like, but
He was hopeless.
Who-
Where was it, Annie?
Luton.
Luton, aye.
Apparently he was appalling
one
there.
of
But I
his-
mean, he's learnt a lot since, I guess. So.
One of his only wins at Luton. Can you guess what team it was against?
Was it?
Middlesbrough.
Bristol City, wasn't it?
You beat Middlesbrough.
You know what the score was? Do you know what the score was?
3-2.
18-0.
3-0. Oh, I think
Yeah.
there's been a goal in France. We'll go over there to Chris Kamara. There's been a goal in France.
There's been a goal.
Looks like it's Marcy, I
Who's the
think.
goal scorer?
Unless it's the bat from
Payet.
Paul's room just gone in there.
Payet got suspended actually for a game.
Oh, I thought, what was that? Because when he threw the bottle back at the fans or something and while kicking off.
Yeah. I don't think
That
he
was
should have
mine.
got. I don't think he should have got suspended for that, bro. If you're getting shit thrown at you, hey, an eye for an eye. That's how I see it. But whatever. Marseille 2-0 up. I'm happy. Fuck Monaco.
The
Fuck
goal
Bruce,
scorer.
Ashley.
The goal scorer's full name is Ahamadou Bamba Dieng.
Yang. Fuck yeah.
Didn't he play in the Premier League?
guys, what do you think of? I may be late coming on here. What do you think about this Steve Bruce's interview with?
Oh, I'm sure you're half in that one too, late.
We discussed it.
I didn't know.
Gosh.
What did you think of it, John? How did you react to the way Bruce was being so disrespectful to all of them?
I tell you what, he had it so easy since he's been at the club. About time someone like Lee Ryder, I'm big up to him, fair play to him,
Yeah,
come on and call them out. You know what I mean? Call them out, sort of thing. At long last, right? He asked a question, legitimate question, and Steve Bruce had a right go at him, calling the fans negative, having to go to the Chronicle, right? Everything, basically. Do you know what I mean? This manager is an absolute disgrace. And also, he was asked about the fans, calling them, asking him to boost out. He goes, what do you want us to say? I can't answer that question, I'm sorry. He's getting frustrated. He's rattled, right? And it's just a matter of time before he goes.
I'm sorry, John.
Didn't he call us they as in the fans they? He didn't say the fans, he called us they. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not like us. Like he claims to be a fan like what we are. You think we go us, not they.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but John,
Go on.
what question was it? Lee
Ryder.
No. You said something before you said the question. You mispronounced legitimate. You said You said Lee.
He plays. I tell you, I make it easier. He basically asked a question, like a good question in my opinion, sort of thing, which is right to ask. And Steve Bruce didn't like it. He did not like it at all.
He doesn't like any questions, John.
Makes you wonder the way he reacted to the press and the way he's reacting to the fans. Why hasn't he got the balls to act like that to Charnley and Ashley?
Because he's pussy. He's Ashley whipped. He's Ashley whipped, not pussy whipped. He's Ashley whipped. Yeah. He's softer. He's softer than shit.
Instead of him complaining, instead of him going to Ashley's or Charlie and say, "Where was this? Like your promises in this window?" He went on holiday for a week, didn't he? Or weekend? No.
I'm telling you, Bruce press conferences at Newcastle could be mistaken for a Comedy Central skit. Someone's got to fucking put that in the disclaimer. Like, this is not satire. This is real life. This isn't
make a Saturday Night Live out of it, couldn't you?
Yeah, that's the only thing Steve Bruce is probably useful for nowadays. He could be a fucking comedian. Because the shit that he says is fucking it's so terrible. It's just funny at a certain point. Because it's just like you're just so deluded and you're so far from reality and you're so fucking in your own head and your ego that it's like it's just laughable at this point. Like I fucking hate, I really do. I just hate listening to the guy speak. I don't know why I even look at the quotes. I'm
interested to see what Billy's saying next. I've
just got it up. Isaac Hayden was replying to Magpie 24/7 when they said Jamal Lascelles and Isaac Hayden and Joe Linton all asked Ronaldo for his shirt after the game. They should be furious with that result and gutted like us fans. Instead, they're doing this. It doesn't send out the right look. So Isaac Hayden has responded with, "Did you ask Ronaldo if I did? Acting like shaking hands with an opponent like a man after a tough defeat is a bad thing. Lads gave it everything today. Sure, some of us made mistakes for goals, including myself, but to insinuate we are not gutted like anyone else is wrong."
Well, guess what? The shit that Steve Bruce says in his press conferences, like, we'll try. That seeps down to the players' mentality too. He doesn't just make the players worse in ability and physical stuff. He makes them fucking worse mentally. He brings everyone's mental strength down.
You're right. With social media these days, Steve, you're right, because the players are bound to see that they might not react. I mean, okay, Hayden has apparently, I haven't seen it, but you know that they know that they can read the room, and they'll know that those fans are completely pissed off about the situation and have been for a good number of years. You know, and I think the only saving grace for you time was when Rafa was here, because wow, I've got one of the best managers in the world. It didn't end well, but everybody wants to have Ashley, everyone wants to have Bruce. And it's got to get to the players. And if they're going to start arguing among themselves with the fans, that's it. They've lost.
That's the only link we have left. The players and the fans. Mm-hmm. Now we have Isaac Hayden doing this because he's not only been bruised in terms of his ability, mentally, Bruce's shit mindset is seeping into the players now too. So then we'll lose that.
You're right, but I mean, if the club had any modicum of sense, they would have, you know, fans glazing it as a type person, you know, and they'll be able to come out and say, "We know you're hurting. We're doing our best." And yes, it's BS, but you just feel as if the club are interested. They're not interested. I mean, if you look at social media over the last couple of weeks, getting tickets delivered, arriving 2 or 3 days after the game, people having to go to the ground to pick them up, tickets being sent to the wrong person. I mean, I forget who it was now. I was watching a show the other day and they said
it had got. Was that Wraith, wasn't it? Steve Wraith.
Was it? That's right, it was. Sammy, and they'd gone to a family and friends that they were in a group 10 years ago. And you're thinking, what the hell? You know, and I'm not going to blame the staff because, you know, I mean, I think a lot of them are still on furlough, and the ones that are left are running like mad things just to stand still. You know, we laugh about the dead pigeon. We laugh about the muck on the top of the east stand, you know, above where I sit. But it's not a laugh matter. The whole place is going to bloody rack and ruin, from dirty stands, dead pigeons, to tickets, fans' tickets not going to the right place. It's an absolute, utter bloody shambles. It really is.
We just don't deserve. We don't deserve to be a Premier League team.
No,
we just don't. Right. There are so many. There's so many.
We don't act like one. We definitely don't act like one.
And there's so many teams in the Championship with ambition, and they do the right things, and they have the character to do the right thing. Treat your fucking fans nice. Give them good players and a good manager. Update your stadium, training grounds, etc.
Yeah.
That give a fuck. That's the main thing.
That sounds like us.
Well, yeah, but it's like if you look at one of the big shops over here, Ryan, Marks and Spencer's, you know, their clothing lines have been pretty poor for the last few years, but their food halls are brilliant. So people are not buying clothes anymore. They were one of the best clothing retailers on the high street for a good number. If you wanted a good suit, you know, when I was working, you know, I was in management, I always went there for my suits. They were expensive, but you knew they'd last and were good quality. You don't get that now, so people don't go anymore.
Yeah,
their food's good, so people go there. Local shop to us, it's gone from, I don't know, less than a third, maybe it's a quarter of food, now to well over a half. And that's what's happening in a daft way. That's what's happening in Newcastle. Fans are getting pissed off. Less and less are going. I mean, was this right? Did you hear this, Jason, the other day about where there's rumours that Ashley was going to give or sell tickets to the Leeds fans to fill all the gaps in?
I've seen that, yeah.
I mean, what on earth is that? It would be a bloody bloodbath if he does that. What a knacker.
He was going to allocate some into the home section as well to the Leeds fans.
I've heard that. That if they do that, I'll come in here. If he does that, it's going to cause an absolute riot.
No, well, there's no doubt about it.
No doubt about it. And the effort and the Premier League, we need to look into that.
Away fans should sit in the away section.
Yeah, but apparently he's prepared to sell extra tickets to Leeds fans. I mean, because what's Leeds? It's only an hour away. I mean, it's almost a derby. You know, I can get Leeds in about an hour and 15 minutes at the most. You know, not far away.
I'm guilty of sitting in the home end, being an away fan. Once happened once.
But you're a fucking 14-year-old.
No. It was different circumstances. I went to Wales versus Croatia.
Yeah.
Didn't have any tickets in the away end, so booked a ticket in the home end.
Yep.
And because I don't really like Wales, because we don't, Bristol doesn't like Wales. I kind of cheered on Croatia in the Welsh end, which got a few stares. But
were you looking to cause trouble at the game? Are you a Croatian hooligan? Are you part of the bad blue boys or something?
11-year-old being a hooligan.
Yeah. So there's a big fucking. Do you think Ashley selling these tickets are going to be dirt cheap? So any Leeds fan can buy them and cause a stir.
It's not the fact that he's selling them to the Leeds fans. It's that the fact that he's selling them into the Leeds fan that are allocated in the home section.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That is just a different type of match that'll be in front of the cameras and what's being played on the pitch.
Yep.
I mean, I think we should get some boxing commentators in the stands because there'll be quite a few fights, I presume.
That's awesome.
Well, you're right, because those fans that are there, if it's not going well, we're going to be bloody angry. And we'll be spitting blood and feathers like we have been for the last, 2.5, 3 years. And then they'll score. Their Leeds fans and people go, whoa, we scored. And then it's going to be battles. You can,
Tempers are going to be up and fucking fiery and ready to, Any everyday normal guy turns into fucking mob mentality, man. It's a very interesting psychological way of looking at it. An average guy can do some violent things that is out of his realm, but he's in a crowd. And his team
If I
fucking
had
sucks dick too, so you know.
If I had a away fan in the home end, for one of my games, I would first be questioning why they're there.
Yep.
And second of all, how it's got to this point that the fact that an away fan has gone, yeah, no tickets in the away end. Yeah, let's book it in the home end. And the fact that rumours, allegedly, Ashley's giving away tickets in the home end. Away fans, it's just, why? Just why?
He's giving them their full allocation for the away end, as well as extra for the home section.
Just to make money.
Pathetic.
I mean, I always used the daft thing. Jason, I had a few years ago. He doesn't go there now, but a lad who was from Newcastle but moved to London many years ago, and he was an Arsenal fan, but Newcastle was his first team, as you had seen ticket at St James's, so two was his first love. But he always used to say when they play Arsenal, whatever happened, he was happy because if Arsenal won, he was happy because it was his second team. Because he used to go there a lot. We won, he was happy as well. That's different. That's he was season ticket holder, but would any one of us could be sat next to a Leeds fan.
Unreal. And again, this is just more evidence as to what we were talking about earlier about Ashley pocketing the fucking parachute payment money because he wants to get more money. Full stadium, more money.
Yep.
Every single dollar.
Money.
Yeah,
parachute.
Yeah, money all the time. That's all he thinks about is money. He doesn't care. What he thinks though is like Ashley.
Any logistics, anything. Yeah.
John's getting into the rap industry. Money.
Hey,
dollar bills, yo.
Hey.
That's because
We'll know who John thinks about all the time.
Not really.
Go on, Chippaz. Who is it?
Linton.
That was bloody awful.
And the funny thing is too, it's like if this were an American owner and a European owner of a European football club, I wouldn't be surprised that they would try something like this, especially if they were brand new to the sport, if they were someone younger. Like I would because that's how it works in America. We don't have away ends. We all just it's all the same stadium. There are no away ends. So I understand that. And but this is a fucking England. What the fuck? There's no fucking excuse for this. There's no way. In America, it's just different the way American sports and fan bases are set up than it is in Europe and the rest of the world. Really, you have away ends in other sports, and we do have that in Major League Soccer.
There's simply some away fans that you should not mix with. And being a Londoner myself, Millwall and West Ham are two you do not want to get mixed up with.
Arsenal, Tottenham.
Millwall.
But Stephen, if you go to an NFL game anywhere in the States, would you get away fans? If the Redskins, Washington were playing at Miami, would any Dolphins fans go over to Washington?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, there have been like I've been to 2 NFL games. I went to one a few years ago at Gillette Stadium. And I was a Bears fan, and there were a few thousand. It was obviously a Patriot sellout, but there were a few thousand Bears fans, and then 20 or 30 probably Bears fans that I talked to during the game and stuff. And it's hostile in New England because of all the fan bases here are fucking dickheads. They really they're really they're quite even when you're wearing an opposition shirt, they'll give you some shit. So there's even a case for that, but it's still miles different. It's very different from European sports.
Over here we have rugby league, and I've been to the grand final a couple of times.
Yeah,
and it's absolutely brilliant when you go there to Wembley. You will see every single shirt of every other team.
Yeah,
they all get their tickets, and they have a great time.
Yeah.
They get home, they have a drink together, a good laugh, they watch the game, they thoroughly enjoy it. No bother whatsoever. You did that. If you did that where you got every Premier League to send a team to Wembley, send some fans to Wembley, it would be a bloodbath. and that's such a sad thing.
When
You
I
know,
see
man.
MLS games and they have like a crowd shot, there are people with Real Madrid shirts, with different MLS teams in the crowd, or with Real Madrid, or Manchester United shirts, Man City, Tottenham, PSG, Marseille shirts. Like you're right. It's
No Newcastle shirts though, mate.
Well, when I went to the latest Revs game, I wore my Newcastle shirt when I was sitting with the New England supporters. Yeah, so I wore mine. So, and during that game, I saw a Lyon shirt. I saw obviously a bunch of Rev shirts, a few away fans and stuff like that. But it's just completely different from American sports mingling with away fans and different fans of that, and a fucking football game. There's a big difference. Ashley should not do that. But you know what? All he gives a fuck about is money. It's no surprise to me.
Oh, he's back.
I
thought you'd fallen asleep.
Yeah, I went off.
Yeah.
You fell asleep, didn't you? Admit it.
I nearly did.
I would never.
I was just waiting for John to bring the Italian league up or something, and then cool.
Oh, you're setting them away now, my God! Come
on.
No. 20 minutes.
You're like, Magnifico, Juventus lost.
Emily Grazie, yeah.
Well, actually, if we scroll back a little bit through the comments.
Yeah.
Yes, I know.
He did.
That one over quite.
John, did you watch the Napoli Juventus game by any chance?
Juventus and Newcastle are growing.
The second half, and Napoli was superb. 20 shots attempts on goal. I mean, Koulibaly got one, and Politano got as well. But that's 1 point for Juve this season. Shocking.
John, your team's
It's not an Italian channel. It's not an Italian channel.
John, your teams and both of your teams you sport in black and white are fucking trash. I gotta say, man.
We are.
You have 1 point through 3, 16th in Serie A. Even Venezia won today.
They did.
So is that team in green and white as well? Who are they? They're somewhat Scottish or something like that.
Rangers won.
Rangers.
You won, baby.
I'm going to upset you. I'm a Celtic fan as well.
Oh no!
I'm sorry.
Unfollowed.
You guys are missing Kyogo for a few weeks. Injury. That's gonna suck.
He's John's guy, remember?
Yeah.
John, what do you think of Piemonte this season?
There's another Juve that is as well, Piemonte, but Juve as well. Not a good start though, but it's a long season in Serie A. But 1 point first 2 games is not great. But listen, it's still a long way to go. Juve's been in that situation before and won it.
The problem with Juventus is that this whole mentality thing that we talk about with these repeat champions and whatnot, that's gone. That's gone. There's no confidence. It's not there. Those, that champions confidence, like, okay, we're gonna do it, and because they got dethroned last year by Inter. Now they have the chance to be dominant in Serie A, but with Juventus, it's gone. And you can see it in the way they play. Yeah. You can see it in the way they play.
John,
there's just.
John, you want to read the next comment?
John, speak some Italian for me.
I'll give it a miss.
John, go on, read it. Correct Billy as well. Once you read the comment.
See, man.
John, you're a good sport. You're a good sport.
Unless it's like having Joey Essex on the stream.
Oh, no.
Oh, wow. God. Greatest Italian player from your good friend Wilma.
Wilma.
In my generation, I've got to see Roberto Baggio. That's the Italian player took Roberto Baggio.
I thought you were going to see the Batty goal, Battistero.
He's Argentinian.
He's Argentinian.
Del Piero for
he
me.
played in Italy, didn't he? Played most of his career in Italy, didn't he?
Yeah, for me, you've got a great Italian. It's Baggio, but the best player for me is Batistuta.
Rossi,
Oh,
Long
couldn't
way.
be Chivas boots him, man.
So
Francesco Totti.
you don't think
Oh,
you don't
Italian.
You
Some
don't think
Italian.
Couldn't be
Shearer?
Chivas boots, body goal, man.
Batistuta is absolute world class. He's world
Alessandro
class.
Del Piero was mine.
Yeah, I was going to say
Del Piero.
yeah. Del Piero. I mean,
Maldini and Del Piero probably the best
Maldini,
two.
Lazy.
Okay, John, there actually is some Italian, so I can't speak Italian, so you're gonna have to translate for me. What does that say?
Oh man, I don't know the basic stuff, but listen,
I've translated it. Do you know what it says?
Oh,
Don't want to know
no.
what it is.
people want to know.
Stop
This is
talking
Johnson.
Italian nonsense.
I thought I was going to say John sucked my dick or something. Or...
How rude.
That means
I was expecting something like that.
Ordini.
100%.
Franco Baresi. Yeah.
Franco Perez.
You could put Totti on the list as well, by the way.
Put Joe Linton on the list because he played in Italy, didn't he?
Yeah, what about Barista? He was great. He made a great cup of coffee. He did.
Barista.
Very funny. Very, very funny.
Andy, I find it ironic that you're snoozing while we're talking about Serie A, considering your fucking team drew 0-0 today. I find that quite ironic. But you know, that's neither here nor there. But you know.
We actually got 1 point.
It was 0-0.
Newcastle today.
It was 0-0.
Sorry.
And yeah, I think you were playing a team a bit easier. Just like to be fair, I mean, we were playing a team that had a net worth of £1 billion on that football pitch on their value. So I mean,
we played a team which had an Ireland international in it.
Oh, so did we.
Do you know what?
Yeah, we
I
had Jeff
think
Hendrick, isn't he? National, didn't he?
if we got us some of those off Paul's channel and Ratey's channel and put a team together, we'll probably give Newcastle a game.
Probably good. We're probably last 90 minutes now.
I don't even follow Italian football, but the only team that I used to like watching, and they're also used to being black and white stripes, were Ascoli.
Palma as well. Palma,
yes, Palma.
When Espria signed, I think he played in Palma his full career because he was at Palma most of his career and all.
Also Siena as well.
She's filthy, her mind.
Yeah.
Calm down, mate.
Gianfranco Zola. Good player. Buffon.
My best Italian player.
Di Canio. I love
the best Italian player of my generation is
Ciro Immobile.
Mario Balotelli, no doubt.
Federico Chiesa.
Oh god, that tells you how old that tells you, Annie, how old you really are now, doesn't it? I mean, where?
Yeah, I'm not proud.
You've only said that because he won the flipping European Championships a couple of months ago.
Who the hell do I say then?
That's fact. I'm like, I'll go to Rafa mode. I'm stating facts.
Rafa loved using that word. Facts.
Fact.
Always facts.
Is that Jason? Is actually a dildo next to it? It says Bruce out on your phone. Have you drew a dildo next to it?
Yeah, I'm waiting for him to bend over so I can shove it straight up his ass.
Yeah. I bet it comes with his gob, does it?
I can translate what human being Wilma has said. Hi, John. Hi, John, because you always talk about Italian football.
Why is he being so fucking tame? I was expecting a lot more cruder stuff than what he's putting. Like,
well, it's not Monday night, you see. That's why we're trying to be.
I mean, I don't know if my dick fit will be on him. Oh, David, there you go. I love Inter Milan.
Inter
I've never
Milan.
seen a game of Inter Milan, but he loves them.
I love prostitutes. Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
Oh,
Hey.
Cool.
A bit random, isn't it?
what, Italian ones or?
I think Steve Bruce would rather
I
talk
prefer the
about his
Dutch
love
ones.
for
That doesn't need to be
Yeah.
translated, does it?
I used to love the way, and I still do, when Rafa would say his club, the club, and I loved. I mean, I love the man. He's an absolute, legend.
Move on.
I didn't mind prostitutes. Like, there's a time and a place for them. Like,
It was like an old comedy used to be on the TV, the French comedy Hello Hello.
Yeah.
And I always think Rafa always looked like Rene.
Yes.
Please remember, I am 14 years old. Don't talk about prostitutes.
It was
That's
very
not-
clean, Annie.
Why are you going to go out and get one, Annie?
Annie,
What the hell are you talking about?
It says
What's your
prostrate. It says prostrate.
Prostate exams. Promoting
Yeah,
men's health.
Let's not go there.
That's fair. That's fair enough. That's fair enough. But
Yeah.
I'm not stupid.
Yeah.
All I'm saying.
yeah, I think put the stick the finger up someone's arse.
I know that player. John, do you know that player?
Claudio Gentile, I do.
Who?
But Capini.
It's his guy. Remember, it's his guy.
Kind of, bit young.
It's his
remember
man.
Capini.
There's David again. I watch all the Inter Milan games.
What stream do you use, David? What stream do you use?
He blows me is what John was watching earlier.
He blows me.
John, do you know when you said the stream earlier for like when you were both watching it, when you said was it he goals me or something? I thought you actually said he
He's
blows
goal,
me. And I
yeah.
thought, hang
Yo, what? son?
hang on a sec, what stream's this? I thought Paul's typing it. I thought, what's he doing? Typing it.
I think I nearly typed.
I'll tell you what, though. I'll tell you what, though. I was there when we beat Juventus at home. Like, that was unbelievable.
That was a great
James.
game. That was a
great
just goal.
I can't believe, like, I'm saying it now, how we beat Juventus, and now we can't even beat fucking Watford or any of the basics in this division, or Norwich, or...
Yeah.
Was it Aaron Hughes or Andy Griffin that got the goal that day?
Well, it was either Andy Griffin or it was an own goal, because it was going wide, and I think it went, hit Buffon and went in, really.
Yeah, it hit Buffon's elbow, didn't it? And went in.
That's fucking crazy.
I was
that
at
Buffon
the
was
Barcelona
in goal.
game. The 3-2 against Barca. That was a 9.5. That, I mean, that was.
Should we talk about
what I liked about that Barca game was when Patrick Kluivert went down the steps, tapped the Newcastle crest, just as went into the tunnel, and then next season he was in a Newcastle shirt.
Yeah.
Should we talk about each club's
I went to that
best
game,
game?
and I couldn't talk for 2 days afterwards, and I couldn't hear for 3 days. My head was buzzing. I mean, the screaming, the shouting, the noise was incredible. It really was that night. It hurt. It was great though. I mean, I'd live through it every night again. So,
What do you want to talk about, Annie?
Should we talk about each club's greatest win ever?
greatest win ever.
Ever.
Well, I don't think any of us would be alive for Newcastle. Was probably won the Fairs Cup in 16, because it was the last time we won a trophy.
I think if any one of us was.
Well, David, you might be.
Yes. One of us was.
I was.
I wasn't there, but I was.
I don't know, Andy. What's Bristol City's greatest ever victory?
Be
I don't
this season
actually-
or last season, or
2-1 win over Manchester United when we scored in the 95th minute
FA Cup
Shithouse.
game or something?
to reach the Carabao Cup semi-final.
Carabao Cup. Okay.
shit
Oh yeah.
houses.
Then you played Man City
Yeah, and then we lost.
a few years ago. Yeah. I think I remember that actually. Yeah, that was your cup run against Man City. Yeah, that
Yeah.
must have been fun. Fucking hell.
Yeah, we lost, but yeah, it was great. It was.
Yeah. Did you go to either of those games? The Man City
No,
or
'cause I
Man
wasn't-
United ones?
No, because I wasn't living in
Bristol
England.
City fan, then.
Very
Fair enough.
funny.
Well, he's cool.
You've upset him.
For me, I would have to say it was also another United game when we beat Man United 4-3, and it was like Shearer got like the last minute goal, but it was ruled out for a own goal by Laurent Blanc.
Yeah.
Wow.
That has always been a big memory on mine.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think that. I mean, it was obviously the 5-1 against Man United when my favourite goal of all time, the Albert chip. But yeah, I think the 4-3 was probably, that was the season after, wasn't it? It was probably the better win because they were flying at that time, and we you know, the scoreline was, it should have been 7 or 8. I mean, we're just all over them. We left ourselves exposed at the back far too much. That's why they got the goals. We could have easily got another 3 or 4 that night. Yeah.
Damn.
John?
Yeah. There's a few I can think of. Greatest wins, yeah.
I actually think of one in my lifetime, yeah. Feyenoord away in the Champions League to qualify.
Feyenoord away.
The only team in history to lose the first 3 games and then win the second 3 and qualify.
And go through.
No one else has done that.
Wow.
No one else has done that in Champions League.
Never been done before or since, mate, has it?
Wow.
No. The only team in history. Where our names in the Guinness Book of Records for that.
Wow.
Newcastle United. That was 18 years ago.
That's unreal. That's a good shout, yeah.
I was 13 and I was watching it on telly because I had to go to school the next day, and it was like, because it was going extra time, wasn't it? Unless Bellamy scored, and it was like, I'm going to have to stay up because I'm going to school the next day. I didn't want to go to school. And then literally was scoring, and it's like everybody at school the next day was just like unbelievable, you know. It's like you just like you think about things like that now, and you look back now and think we can't even compete with the basics in the Premier League, and yet we
can't compete. We can't compete with B teams in the Championship in a Carabao Cup game.
You're right, Steve.
That's how low.
I think Friday night will be the defining night for us as a fan base and Bruce as a manager, and even Ashley as an owner. If we get mullered on Friday night,
which we probably will, it will be. I think I'll just try and sneak out. You know, if we're getting beat 2 or 3 with a few minutes to go, I'm going to sneak out and get away quick because there'll be bloody riots, and I pray to God there isn't, because that's the last thing you want to see. But I hope the Newcastle fans at the stadium cause a non-violent disruption. That's what I am hoping for.
There is talk. I mean, this protest, is it NUFC protest? I can't remember the Twitter handle.
Yeah.
But they are going to do this sort of. It's a bit like a civil disobedience thing, which is great because it's not going to cause any major issues, but it's going to be enough. Is that right, Jody? You're the first English team to beat Barcelona.
Wow!
I thought that teams had beaten them before we did.
Maybe in the maybe in the UCL era.
Yeah.
Or maybe like away to the Camp Nou or something. I don't know. Maybe something like that.
So that's a good one to look up for a stato.
Wow.
But yeah, I think they're on about throwing paper airplanes on the pitch and all that type of thing, which I think is great because if we were to do what Man United fans did and had the Liverpool games, we would have absolutely bloody hammered. It would have been tens of millions of pounds fines and fined so many points and God knows where else because they're the pressure to get away with a slap on the wrist. The same as the SL teams, was it £3.5 million each? I mean, good God, they spent more than that on bloody agents' fees this summer. It's an absolute disgrace.
Yeah.
Jason, I'm going to shoot cards will be on nearly 2 hours. It's like a pretty long time.
Yeah. No worries.
Please.
See you
have a good night, everyone. I'll see you on Tuesday. Probably a pause. We'll see you on Tuesday.
See you Friday night outside the ground.
Oh no, I'm not going.
You know,
I'm not sure. No.
get yourself along and suffer like the rest of them, man. Come on.
I think watching it's enough, to be honest.
And he's put his 50 pence back in his Wi-Fi.
Back in the meter, yeah.
My 50 pence is ran out, so I'm gone. Probably say he's on
No worries.
Tuesday night.
Yeah, see you later.
That's what you're doing.
See you later. So,
And as
So,
one
Andy,
leaves, another one enters, and it's another debut. And it's another one from across the pond. It is Ryan.
Ryan,
Hey,
what's going on?
Hey, Ryan, how you doing? Great.
I think
You're
you're on
muted.
mute, fella.
You're muted.
God damn it, Ryan.
Come on, get a grip.
Can you hear me?
There you go.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, the wrong
there he
mic.
goes.
Okay, no. I'm
Right.
very angry. That second goal from Man United was a fucking disgrace.
Yep.
How is a left back able to get through our midfield like that?
At this point, it's a wonder
This
how
is what
they
I'm telling
don't.
about the far at the back.
Yeah.
There's no midfield.
Yep. 100%.
I didn't even watch, like, okay, I was at work during the game, but I ended it. Like, I watched the last 10 minutes of the first half and a bit of the second half. I saw both Ronaldo goals. I saw our Manquillo's goal. I saw Fernandez's goal. That's the thing, too. Bruno Fernandez's goal. Another reason why we shouldn't play at the 5 at the back. We're sat all the way back here while he's there taking a shot. He's got
I'm
all
glad
the
you've got
space in the
shorts on.
world. He's got all the time in the world just to shoot.
Mhm.
I'd rather be watching. I want international break right now. I want to watch Canada play, not this garbage.
I don't blame you, Ryan. Me and you were watching the Canada-Honduras game, and the result was kind of bad for you guys, but Canada played well. They had ambition. And I mean, this team, Canada were a fucking whipping boys of CONCACAF for many a year. So
I
it's,
was in dreamland when we beat El Salvador 3-0.
yeah, that was another fantastic game. And, that just shows that there's ambition, that, it doesn't matter where you are right now. If you have some fucking ambition about your club or your country, and you have the right people in charge who also have that same ambition and will throw the money down and good scouting and good facilities and a good stadium, you treat your customers right, you're going to go places sooner rather than later. That's the fucking reality of it. And we don't do any of those things at Newcastle. So guess what? It's going to be the opposite. We're going down.
Ryan, did you catch the after-match interview?
No, what was it?
Oh, you
The
don't
way
even wanna know.
Steve Bruce
You don't need.
Did he
had a go at the press and I took a cheeky dig at the fans as well.
really? Oh, he's been no way. Finally.
He finally got called out about going on holiday.
Oh, really? Someone called him out about it.
he could get. I think the whole entire interview lasted just over 2.5 minutes before he stormed out.
Really? Can you turn down the music, please? Sorry.
2.5 minutes. 2.5 minutes. Jason, sorry. 2.5 minutes.
Really? Do you guys? Who was the reporter that pressed him about it? Was it Lee Ryder?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Really? What was the question?
Asked him about Portugal, right?
Holiday.
Well, I think it was something like
it was about the holiday. Yeah,
along the lines of you went on holiday. Was that a good thing or whatever? When it was leading up to this week, and he just kicked off what was away.
Turn the fucking music down.
Jay, all it is, right? I mean, I would have loved to have done a post-press conference reaction tonight regarding that. I could have done it.
2 minutes 21 seconds is how long it went on for.
What a waste! What a complete and not a waste of time.
I just fucking hate Rafa press conferences were actually interesting because he had a lot to say and he's a smart guy, obviously, and he actually sounded like a good guy to listen to. Yeah. This fucking Bruce, it's just if you want to laugh, then you watch him. But don't take anything he says seriously.
For a
all a
neutral
fucking
fan, it
joke.
must be quite funny to watch him.
Oh yeah, and you have to trick yourself into thinking it's funny because otherwise you're just gonna fucking burn your house down because you're just that angry. It really is. It's fucking
You know what?
ridiculous.
You know, I just realized. I think that was a good time for Lee Ryder to actually say it because there's not a PR officer from our club protecting Bruce at all. He just goes in. He just goes in on a Zoom call, I guess, and then like they just go at him. We all know he's getting banned next press conference.
Good on
Yeah.
him. Good on Lee for asking that question because it needed to be asked, and it's no surprise that Bruce dodged it. But guess what? He can't dodge. He can't dodge the bullet of us fans giving him shit for how shit he is. He can't dodge that.
Steve,
What did-
Steve,
It was the way he tried to turn it round onto Lee Ryder and say, you know, other fans saying that. Other really no, it's you and your bloody useless newspaper. No, Steve, everybody has been saying, what the hell were you doing going on holiday? As I said earlier, were you pissed off because of the bad transfer deadlines? If you were, fine, say it. Do you know what? I went to clear my head because I was pissed off. And we'll all go, aye, fair play, lad. Fair. I would have done. But no, he's got to try and twist it, and it's always somebody else's fault.
But
Dave,
what
Sorry,
I wonder is Mike Ashley telling Steve Bruce to do that, or is Steve Bruce just taking the initiative to say, no, I'm going to ignore these questions?
I would be very surprised. I'm prepared to be shot down in flames, but I'd be very surprised if Bruce and Ashley have said more than half a dozen sentences this last 3 or 4 months.
Yeah, they
I
probably
think
never talked.
No, I think everything's coming through Charnley and what's the other fella's name?
I think Charlie's a middleman.
Yeah.
He's basically that. A middleman that has no clue what he's doing.
no.
Well, I don't know, he's
One thing about life, I can't stand that kind of
tripled
stuff.
his bloody wages overnight, didn't he? For God's sake.
Oh, that was.
Sorry, John, you were going to say something, and I interrupted.
No, I was just about to say to you guys as well, you're talking about Lee Ryder and Steve Bruce. They both had previous anyway. If you go back last season, when Lee Ryder asked the question to Steve Bruce and Brentford, we got lost to Brentford, beat. And Lee Ryder asked the question, and Steve Bruce just said, yeah. He didn't answer the full question. I think those two don't like each other at all whatsoever, sort of thing. Steve Bruce. I'll be surprised now if he bans Lee Ryder and the Chronicle from coming in.
No,
Because
he will.
Oh, he's curtains.
You're absolutely right, John. I think by Monday it'll be another one. Somebody said earlier on the chat, was it 9 who have been banned?
Yeah. I think David was talking about that earlier when he was on. I think he was saying there was like 9 or so people banned. No surprise if Lee Ryder's banned after this.
So, just confirm
it.
Just to say it again, 9. You mean 9 people or
9 journalists? Yeah,
9 journalists.
9 journalists on the Chronicle going to get banned on Monday.
Nice.
So
no.
Go on.
I think. Sorry, John, to interrupt. I think it's 9 up to date have been banned, and I think that come Monday, Lee Ryder will be number 10.
100%.
Who's the 9 got banned? I mean, Craig Hope's one of them. Luke Edwards.
Luke Edwards. I can't remember. I mean, I don't follow that many press people, but
All the Newcastle fans who want Steve Bruce out, they're going to be If the fans don't have a communication with the club, I don't see how the club's going to go forward, how it's going to sustain. Because if you don't have a communication with the fans, and the fans are either unhappy with the owner or a key figure in the football club, I don't see how it's going to progress. And you've been unhappy at Ashley for a bit less than 14 years. And the fact that you've got an uneasy relationship with the top dog at the football club, I think might be one of the reasons you have kind of stagnated championship the mistake of when we got biased and not got. But
I'm just
Steve
watching.
Bruce, my man,
I'm literally watching.
He is not my. He is not my man. He's not.
I'm watching the video right now of Steve Bruce with Lee Ryder, and his facial expressions are just killing me.
Yeah. See, Ryan, they got to add a disclaimer. I was saying this earlier. They got to add a disclaimer on that press conference that no, this is not satire or a Comedy Central skit. This is real life.
Oops.
Because one of his impressions were eyebrows.
Every time Lee Ryder's name is mentioned, his eyes roll. He just scrunches his face up.
So disrespectful. All he's got to do is go, "Hi, Lee, what I do for you?" But
exactly. Everyone else, we go to this person from this thing. Like, hi, how you doing? Yeah, I'm fine, thanks. This, that, and the other. Lee Ryder, oh God, not him again.
Yeah, and even Jason, when he it's somebody who's going to give him a softball question, it's just sort of, whoever you're just fine, and then you're a third of the way into your question, and you start to answer the question. It's just rude. It really is.
It's just basic manners.
Always interrupts.
I've said it a number of times. Does he ever get any PR training? Clearly not.
Clearly went to school with Boris Johnson.
Well, yeah, probably.
Guys, I was just looking at the play ratings, right, on the Lead Rider, and some of the markings, oh my God, it's an absolute joke. He gives 6 out of 10 for Freddie Woodman. He gives a 7 for Joe Linton. He gives Longstaff a 6, Richie a 6.
Wait, who's this?
Lee Ryder.
Lee Ryder.
Lee Ryder's player ratings.
Player ratings.
He gives Joe Linton a 7 out of 10.
What did he even do?
Their opinion. His opinion.
Yeah, but he is not a 7 out of 10. Definitely not a 7 out of 10.
Maybe a 4.
He had a shot which went into Rose's head, and he put a couple of balls into the middle, but that.
I'll give him a 2.
The only thought I had, the main thought I have with Joe Linton is that every time he shoots on goal, he shoots directly at the goalkeeper.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
This is why he never scores, because he always just passes it to the goalkeeper. He never goes to either side of the goalkeeper.
Yeah.
Just pick your corner. Like, come on.
It ain't that hard. Even Ronaldo managed to nutmeg bloody Woodman for that second goal.
I think it's time to just put in Darlow in soon, because I feel like it's getting too much for Woodman now.
12 goals shipped in four games.
I think
Worst start since 1934.
I think if in defence of Woodman, I think those 12 goals, one of them today, yes, you could have done better. But other than that, I don't think he's made a bad game. He's just got a bloody rubbish defence. They always say, guys, he's eating as well now, and I'm starving. Steve, give it a rest, will you? Good God.
Empty plate.
Yeah. I'm not going to
Lick it
sound
clean.
I'm going to get a bag of crisps. No, I wouldn't blame Woodman for most of the goals he's let in. I really wouldn't. I think he's he must be fed up.
I reckon he wishes he went to Bournemouth online where he was supposed to be.
Yeah, absolutely.
But this is the same as when we had a goalkeeper crisis a few years ago, and we stuck that Jack Anik in goal, and he was constantly conceding because he'd never been even thrown into a Premier League game before.
Yeah.
True.
Fucking ridiculous. We've crowdfunded a rogue police sniper.
Is that supposed to be
Good
some
one, Billy.
diving joke?
You lot do.
This is all because of on Friday he's supposed to be having a lot of security around him in the dugout as well as inside the stadium and outside the stadium.
Is that right? I hadn't heard that.
Yeah.
I know that.
The whole talk of security being beefed up is all because of us being at home, and he's very targeted.
Mm.
It's going to be fun just to see like an entire SWAT force surrounding him coming out the tunnel.
Unbelievable.
You get marched out.
Tell you what, though.
Be like the old Roman soldiers as they come walking out with the shields over their heads and everything as they're walking Bruce out.
The thing is, right, the security could beat us what much they want, but we're not going to beat 40,000 people. There's no way. Because we have our say, let's be real. And the bottom line is, if we get off to a poor start and if you lose heavily, he's going to be in for it, I'm telling you.
Well, it'll be like Pardew's latter days when every time he got out of the dugout, the noise was deafening, get back and all the rest of it. And Allardyce says, you don't know what you're doing, chance. That's what's going to happen. Every time he comes out, he's going to get absolutely lambasted from every corner of the ground.
As he should be. As he should be.
Yeah, no, yeah, you're right. You're right.
Every fucking bit of it.
The thing is so, Dave, right? I mean, this is going to be the worst of the lot. And we as fans, it's going to make it hell. And also, Ashley, I don't think Ashley's going to turn up as well, man. He'll not turn up to the stadium.
No.
He'll just bottle it yet again.
He's not been at the stadium for God knows how long.
Oh wait.
Sorry, go on. Sorry, Ryan. Go on.
Mike Ashley's probably in Asia, which means kickoffs for him are late. So in John's case, stay in bed.
or unless you're in Australia, which are a day ahead of us.
As long as you live in Asia or the Pacific, stay in bed.
Jason, you're absolutely right. I think last season during lockdown, when a lot of matches are on telly, I think Ashley was at 5 or 6, maybe I can't remember exactly, but it was at a few, and the chorus was, "Oh, Mike Ashley's here! Oh wow, that was a bit of a thing." But I don't think he's been at St James's Park for probably 18 months now.
I can't remember the last time. The only time that I really remember of him last being there was when Rafa invited Amanda Staveley to come to a game, and that's when Ashley actually turned up.
I think he might have come to one game at home during Steve Bruce. I think we played like some mid-table team. I think maybe I don't remember though. But it deserves coverage though because the owner's never there.
No.
You want your owner to show like he cares. He goes to the games and he's invested.
Roman Abramovich is before the whole visa thing. He was at every fucking game.
He never looks impressed, but he's always at a game. He's always got that really just blank face on him.
Yeah, even if he's not at games or he's at a country, he's got people below that know who he hired, who knows what they're doing.
What's going on?
Granovskaya and
apparently one of the Glazers were at Old Trafford today, so they came across.
They're always there, I think.
Yeah, I don't know where they are. Anyway, but
I'm surprised if you don't pan the cameras around, you might see a Joe Kinnear somewhere sitting in the stands.
God, don't. No. No.
Apparently, Sam Allardyce was that.
Big Sam was caught on camera, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Sam Allardyce was caught on camera at the game. And that sparked a little hint. Is he ready to take over at Newcastle again?
Oh, God, no. Jason, don't, for God's sake. No.
No.
I think, to be completely honest with you, I think he'd be a good, decent fit.
But he failed last time.
He failed.
He had a decent squad there. He had Obafemi Martins, and he couldn't get a decent kid out like him out.
Yeah.
I somewhat agree.
I can't make an argument. I give up.
I think we've got you on that one, mate.
Every time Sam Allardyce's name is mentioned, my mind always goes back to that Stoke game where the fans absolutely threw everything at him.
I remember that kid had stood up and nearly fell over the barrier, didn't he? Screaming at them. You could see the spittle coming out of his mouth. He was absolutely another. Get on, fella. Good for you.
I gotta head out, guys. It was nice talking to you. Thanks for having me on the show, Jason. I appreciate it. Nice talking to you guys, John, David, King Northumberland, Annie. Nice seeing you guys.
Yeah,
come on, you fucking mags. Fuck this manager,
You
though.
too, man.
See you guys.
Steve, we
Well,
gotta watch more.
see you
of these.
later.
Oh,
Take care, buddy.
I would have given Richie a 1 as that for getting his boots on the right feet. He was awful today.
Was he just...
That's what you get when you're playing him as a defender when he's meant to be a winger.
Play him 15, 20 yards further up the pitch, and he'd be a different player altogether.
Hayden as centre back when you've named 4 defenders on the subs bench. It's just, oh my god.
we would have done better 4-3-3 with Isaac Hayden midfield than him in defense.
Not a single striker played today when we had a striker on the bench.
Yeah. But I've always wanted to buy Dwight Gale, you know, but I've never quite had the funds because he's somebody I've always wanted to have, and now I've got him, I won't play him.
You would have thought that Dwight Gale would have been like Joel Linton when he first came in. We would never be out of that squad.
Yeah.
He's lucky to be in the squad.
But not even to bring him on. I don't know. Did he bring him on? Or he did he? Just,
No, he all he brought on was
He did the full
Hendrick
wingback
and,
changes on Hendrick. Okay, yeah.
Can we have Dwight Gale? And unless he apologizes, as long as he apologizes to us, get emotional.
You can have Dwight Gale and we'll throw in Bruce for free.
Yeah. There's room I got to get Henrik in as well if you want. You can have him as well. I'll bring him on. I'll drive them over them.
Sorry, take near enough the whole squad apart from a certain couple.
Can we have Callum Wilson? That would be nice.
No, you can't have him. That's going too far. You can have Joel Linton. That's as far as it goes.
Yeah.
Give me Wilson.
No, you're not getting Wilson. Behave.
As the best offer for Wilson, I would say penalty box.
You guys are copycats.
Please give me Wilson.
Come up with your own terms.
Please.
Ain't gonna happen.
Never. Wilson is a proper Toon fan.
Hey, John, are you going to the Leeds game?
Is John actually going to any game? Is the question you ask.
I can't get Friday off, mate.
John, just sell your season ticket. John,
next up, tomorrow you're going to find a Twitter page dedicated to John's seat that's never been sat in. Just like the pigeon.
John, you may as well sell your
pigeon. Actually, going to put that pigeon in John's seat just so it actually has somewhere to sit.
Yeah.
John, you may as well sell your season ticket. You're better off staying at home.
I'll still definitely go to the games, but it's just getting that time to work. And
what was your excuse for the Sunderland one? You put your car was in the garage. Yep, that was fine. But they gave you a courtesy car, but you didn't want to drive it up because it broke down.
No. I just didn't. Wow. I just didn't get the car back on time. I wanted to use it, but I just didn't want to chance it. But I thought, you know what? I'm not going to bother. I just wait for the car to come back.
Train,
John. Where is your ticket in the ground?
I went on Elisis, level 4 corner.
He's in the Seaman 69.
No, I just think we'll get a cardboard cutout of it and just put it in your seat. You know, so.
Like they did throughout the whole lockdown bit. They started putting cardboard cutouts of all the season ticket holders in the stand.
I guess the only bonus today, really, I just thought is I wonder what my fantasy's looking like because I put Ronaldo in too.
Oh, really?
I put Lukaku in. He got 2 as well.
Oh yeah, I've Lukaku. Oh, what? Thought I put Ronaldo in. What? I guess not.
Antonio got sent off.
You're not wrong, Billy. You're not wrong.
Diaz got me 7 points, though.
He has as well. Oh, my gosh.
I'm glad I'm not the only one thinking of that, Billy.
Oh, well. John, are you ever going to go to a game this season? Or which game would you like to go to this season?
I think the Chelsea game's on Saturday. It's a Spurs game on Saturday, isn't it? So I have to have a look at that one.
You talking about Chelsea and Tottenham away?
Home.
Oh,
At home.
Do you go to any
John.
away games, John?
John, the nearest one to you is probably Brighton away, to be honest. Or Southampton away.
Southampton away. That's on. I've already played on January the 2nd, that game. So
I can't get time off work on New Year's Eve. Oh, sorry. The day after New Year's. I can't get
I'll
time off work.
that's going about it. That Spurs game is a 4:30 on a Sunday, 17th October. Good, isn't it?
John, instead of buying a Newcastle season ticket, just buy a Bristol City one. Just buy a Bristol City season ticket.
Nah.
Dave, will you be going to the Leeds game on Friday?
Yes. Yeah, I'll be there. If only to have a laugh at the
Jordy's echoing
group
the
4
same thoughts
security
as me.
around in front of Bruce, it'll be like something out of I don't know, name a film with lots of guns in it. Like you said, I've just got this vision of this circle around, like some sort of
Who the hell was that?
Not guilty. Was that you, Ryan?
No,
Ryan,
that wasn't.
John,
Not me.
Jason.
How could it be me?
Ah!
He's the host.
Yeah, he can do what he wants. It's sure.
Haha.
No, I'll be going after today's debacle. I'm not expecting much. Just Leeds as a side we should be at least competing with, but
Bruce is too scared of Bielsa ball. He honestly is.
Will you be taking your bow and arrow with you?
No. I don't think I'd get in with it.
Just stand on the roof and just peer down and just.
Yeah.
No, he'd slip off the muck.
That's been cleaned though.
Yeah, right. I'd heard somebody was up there last week. Have they cleaned it? Have they?
It's all been cleaned and repainted and everything.
Oh, right. So having to go at them, embarrass them into doing after 10 years of neglect.
It was only done because of the Super League. The Super League demanded it to be done, so it was all out of Ashley's hands.
Yeah. Oh, he'll have been pissed out about having to do that. The Super League for Magic Weekend. Has the dead pigeon gone though? I hope it hasn't.
Probably not. It's going to have its own statue by the end of the month.
Yeah. Well, on Friday night we should start the match with a rendition of "Abide with Me" for the dead pigeon.
A minute's applause, why not?
Yeah.
Oh wow! So, what's our score predictions going to be for Friday?
I won 9-0 against Man United. I think I'm gonna go 5-1 Leeds.
Really?
Who's going to get our goal? Wilson will be out.
I think Joe Willock maybe.
John?
4-1 Leeds.
4-1 Leeds. Who's going to grab our goal?
Willock.
Dave?
I'm a little bit less pessimistic than the other two lads. I want to go 3-1 to Leeds. And I have a feeling it'll be Willock or maybe it's Monkey again, or that could go today, or ESM. One of them might score, but I think the feeling and the team will be rock bottom, especially if Hayden's having a spat at fans now. It's going to be so toxic, and I can see it kicking off big time. I hope it doesn't. Because it's not what I want to see at a football match, but I can see it happening. I really can, Jason. I can see, all sorts of nastiness going on before and after the ground. Especially if we get beat, 4 or 5-0, is like Ryan's saying. I can see it kicking off big time. I pray to God it doesn't, but
that goal that Manquillo scored, it reminded me of the exact type of goal that Daryl Janmaat scored when he scored against Spurs in that 5-1 victory.
Yeah.
It was pretty much near enough the same type of goal that he scored.
it was a well worked goal. That was the thing that got me hacked off. And what gets me, if we can do that, and as we said before, with a decent manager in with that squad, I asked the question earlier, would we improve? Yeah, I think we probably would. But if we can do that against Man United, who, let's face it, are going to be there or thereabouts this season, we should be able to do it, and we should be able to take these apart. It isn't going to happen, though. Yeah, Troll's 3-0 leads, yeah. David, 3, yeah. Everybody's saying 3-0.
5-2 lead.
5-2 again. Oh my
5-2, yeah.
god.
Annie, what do you reckon?
I've thought about this. Leeds can be erratic. I've seen that in the Championship. We've seen that in the Premier League. I think they need time to click, to be honest. I think Leeds need time to click. That low block of Newcastle, if it troubles Leeds, you're going to win. Mark my words, you are going to win. If Leeds have an off-ish day and can't break down your 5-4-1 or 5-3-2, you're going to win. Will I predict that the
scoreline?
If I predict Leeds to have an off day, I will. 1-0 Newcastle.
Scorer?
Always having a problem, I think.
Almiron.
Okay. If he plays like he did today, then it wouldn't surprise me.
All my research is on him.
What do you reckon, Jason?
Leeds turned us over home and away last season. They're going to do the same thing this season. I'll probably go for a 3-1 as well. I think
you're being...
Yeah, I think we will grab a goal, but it's going to go to 15 conceded by the end of that game.
I think you guys are being slightly sucked in by the pessimism of the start of the season and Steve Bruce. If, as I've said, if Leeds can't break you down, you win. I'm confident of that. If you have the firepower up top, ASM especially, to potentially win. So, yeah,
It's the fact that all this season, Bruce has been playing ASM as a striker and not as a winger.
Yeah.
So we actually need to have a striker up top.
It just takes a long shot and you beat our low block. It's too much of a low block that you can get goals like Fernandez goal today possible every single week the way we play.
We just need to play players in their actual positions, and then I would start thinking more positive. But until that happens, we're just going to keep constantly saying we're losing.
It's those square pegs and square holes, isn't it, mate? That's what it is. We're not doing that.
Do you know what it is, guys? I mean, I've said this on the other day. We've only kept 3 clean sheets since February. 3 clean sheets since February. And that ain't good enough. We're going to concede goals every time we go into games. But our defence is a joke. Our defence is weak. Yeah? We just can't defend for Toffee. And that's why we're going to see lots of goals this season. We conceded 62 last season, then 58 the previous year, 48 and then 47. And we already conceded, 12 goals in 4 games at the minute? Our defence is terrible. And it ain't good enough.
Does the fear of Sheffield United's form last season sit in your minds? Where they didn't win a game until they played us.
you're not gonna go 17 without a win. I'm sorry, you're not.
We're on a run of 4.
Yeah, I think so too. Well, I agree with Annie, to be honest.
I think Billy's come up with a couple of good things there about we only play for 60 minutes, and Leeds will play for high tempo for 90 minutes. The fitness in our squad is absolutely atrocious.
Yeah.
You can see it after an hour. They're blown out of the backsides. They're running empty. They're not fit enough. And the one thing with Bielsa, his team is fit, properly fit. And if it's 0-0 at 61 minutes, it will not be 0-0 at 90 because they will just then run us bloody ragged. Yeah, absolutely right, Billy. No legs, no stamina. Absolutely.
That's to do with the training facilities and the way we train as well, which is down to the managers and all the coaching stuff.
Yeah.
We haven't got a fitness coach. We have not got a fitness coach. It's as simple as that.
Yeah,
we've just got one of those training dummies that's got a shirt on it, so we've got fitness coach written across it.
Yeah. You look at our training ground too, and you probably think these players probably aren't being fed the right food to be Premier League players too.
Possibly. But do you know, a few years ago, I think it was when Robson was here, we got in Steve Black, ex-Falcons coach. I mean, one of the best fitness coaches in England. And the level of fitness of our team rocketed in weeks because he had them double trained for the first few weeks, and there was fit as a butcher's dog, the work. And then got rid of him, and he said, the joke about Bruce chucking the ball at the middle of the players was, "Howie lads, let's have a bit of a kick about." And that's, I don't know how true that is, but you just think it seems that's what they're doing. Because if after a pre-season and in 4 games, they're still not fit, they're never going to be fit this season again. They're going to get worse as the years goes on. And we're back to the soft tissue, muscle injuries, the likes that Wilson's going to get all the time. Shouldn't happen. It really shouldn't.
Especially if Bruce is only doing these 2-3 training sessions a week, and they're having so many more days off. They're not going to be physically fit for the entire week.
Well, so I just know through Archie. I mean, as you know, my lad Alex Weiss, who's one of the Olympics, he shoots between 500 and 600 arrows every single day of the week. And if he has a day off, he's at the gym working on, core strength and stuff like that. And that's how you get to be an Olympian. And any Olympian will tell you whether it's Olympics or Paralympics. The harder you work, the better you get. And if you're not working hard, then you're gonna happen.
No, that's right. The more work and effort you put into it, the better you're gonna be. You show laziness, then you're gonna perform a lot lazy.
Can I comment? Shall I just say something as well, Jay, guys? All the pundits. Now, Gary Pallister is the latest person to pick up Steve Bruce since done a wonderful job, yeah? I just don't want to hear any more pundits now coming on saying how wonderful Steve Bruce is again, yeah? Because he's not wonderful. He hasn't done a good job, right? 4 games into the season, we haven't won a game, right? And yet, they're still bigging this manager up and saying he's done a good job. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to hear that.
Well, I have a small channel at the moment, but I would quite happily have Steve Bruce on my channel in a one-to-one on the camera in front of everyone, and I would make sure everyone puts in those hard questions, and I'll make him answer those questions. Not like the stupid call-in that had him, that would all screamed all those bloody questions to him. I would challenge him to come on. I'd give him an open invitation to come on.
I was gonna watch that, and then John just said no, like it's not even that good. It's not even hard questions. So I was like, okay, I'm not even gonna bother then.
All they're asking is does he like watching this program on TV? Like, that's not really a question. And then Steve Howie has the audacity at the end to say, "Oh, it's the fans' fault for not asking him those hard questions." I bet most of those phone calls were those hard questions.
They just filtered it all out.
I mean, I did see it.
Tomorrow night, 5 o'clock. You're on.
Tomorrow night, 5 o'clock. Go for it. Don't tell me you'll be washing your hair then.
Yes, aye. Well, he's got a kebab ordered, so he.
I'm gonna shoot off. I'm gonna shoot off now.
Yeah, I'm gonna finish it there anyway. So, thanks guys coming on. As always, a pleasure. And yeah,
the doom and gloom goes on.
Fridays, yeah,
it's going to be here so quick.
Let's see what happens on Friday.
let's watch his press conference on Thursday, won't it, and see whether Lee Ryder gets to ask the question.
He'll be banned. I think he'll be banned.
Yeah,
he'll be banned. He'll be banned. Yeah. We can see that.
Done.
We'll see that. Yeah. Anyway, let you guys shoot off. Getting late. Yeah. So cheers for coming on.
Yeah, it's been good fun. Enjoyed it.
You too.
Catch you hopefully next time or whenever.
Whenever, yeah. We'll try to do. See you, John. See you, Jason.
Yeah, lads.
See ya.
Thanks for having us. See you later.
Bye.
So, guys, that was the show for today, and wow, just over 2.5 hours. So very extreme. Thanks, Brucey. I suppose I'll give you that one. Brucey, I'll tell you what. Don't lose for the rest of the season. Win a plenty, draw a few. I might say that. Might. But you cannot lose for the entire rest of the season. Or better still, win a trophy. Win a trophy in the Premier League. Maybe. But yeah, that's going to be it for tonight, guys. Thanks to everyone that came on. And subscribe if you're new. Leave a nice thumbs up. If you caught everyone's names, go check them. Go follow them on Twitter. My Twitter feed is also down below. What about a League Cup? Well, we're out of that, so we can't win that one. No probs, Annie. Go give Annie a follow. Go give John a follow. Go give Dave. Both Daves. Steve. Ryan. Everyone that was on, if I've forgotten anyone. But yeah, cheers, guys. Take care. And we're playing on Friday, so I should possibly do a preview on Wednesday. So stay tuned for that. For the rest of the week, I'll most likely be on Tomb Review Paul's channel for his fan forum on Tuesday. And most likely John's channel on the Wednesday for his fans forum, unless that changes. But other than that, my preview video will be out on Wednesday. And seeing as we're playing on Friday, I might still do my after-match game live on Saturday, because it most probably will be a late kickoff on Friday. But yeah, we'll sort that out near the time. So until Wednesday on my channel, take care, and I shall see you guys later.